Hi, Weenie Hut General. Oh, hi, baby. You can't come up right now. I'm doing work. I'm doing work, mama. Hello, everybody. Doing work, little mama. You can't come up. I can show you off for a second, okay? You want me to show you off for a second? Come here. Come here, mama. I'll show you off. Ugh. Hello, everybody. Ugh, you really want to show off, don't you? Hi, baby. I don't think it's a coincidence that she climbed up my leg as soon as I went live, dude. I think this fucking dog is smart. And I think she knows I went live. Good morning, Weems. Did you have a good nap? Luigi had a great time last night. Took her out to the dog park at 7 o'clock. She hung out with a bunch of little dogs. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Hi. Little mama. She hung out with all the other dogs, and she did so good. She has a lot of anxiety, and she does not like big dogs. So, but she didn't cry, and she touched noses with a little dog named Alfie, which was nice. It was very, very nice. But she's learning. I gotta take her out every fucking night at 7 o'clock to the dog park. I have to get her more acclimated with other dogs. I have seen Count Binface. Yes, I have. Little mama. Hi, Beans. Hi, Beans. You okay? You okay? We will know if Abdul won. We'll know by tonight, considering, oh, you're hooked. You're hooked, Mrs. Weeb. You're hooked. You gotta give me back. You gotta give it. You gotta give me that. Thank you. We'll know because Abdul is projected to win by a fuckload. I don't even think it's gonna be close. $10 just got back from therapy for being deathly afraid of screaming Italian revolutionaries. What are we up to today? I'm kidding. Oh, we got a little notification from our boy Nelsie Shimo. Let's get a look-see. Let's get a look-see. No, Nelson, I need him flip-flopping. I mean, this is good. This is good. But how about a second Trump on the right side? Saying, because the whole point of today's video is that he's flip-flopped over and over again on whether or not to bomb them or not. But it can be both. I mean, I like this a lot. I like this. But he's going to flip-flop. He's going to flip-flop. So let me know. I thought you meant two thummies. Oh, no, that's my bad. No. The whole point is that one Trump on the left is like, bomb them all. And then the other Trump on the right is like, cancel the bombing. He just keeps on flip-flopping over and over again. That's my bad. I didn't clarify. Sorry, puppy. Whew. Whew. We Lincoln Park posting? Always. Volume is low? No, it is not. Your volume is low. Crank that bitch up. Your volume is low. There's no fucking shot that my microphone is not picking up everything. There's no fucking shot. No shot in hell. Chris, get Gears of War E-Day? Brother, I already fucking pre-ordered it. I pre-ordered the fucking ultimate version. I'm gonna be playing the ever-loving fuck out of this shit. The ever-loving fuck out of this shit. Don't you worry about that. Don't you worry about that. You and your snake are playing Black Flag? That's incredible. I thought I heard the old man say, leave her, Johnny, leave her. What's the next part? I don't know the next line. Whatever. We got a Bella Ciao for the fellas. We can, but I think we ought to just wait a little bit for more people to roll in, because last time we did the Bella Ciao, bomb them all, but postpone it. Yeah, no, I like that more. Bomb them all, but postpone it. I dig that. I dig that. I dig that. Did your TikTok get banned again? Indeed. Indeed. It's happened many a time. Oh, he's adding the little Israeli flag pin. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh. Ooh, 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 ooh. You want to add me in? You want to add me in there, Nelson? Wherever you see fit. You know what you should do? You should replace the, this, whatever the fuck, who is that? Is that fucking, that ain't Ben Franklin, is it? Is that supposed, no, that's supposed to be John Adams? Who the fuck is that? Is that supposed to be Ben Franklin or John Adams? Who's that supposed to be? James A. Garfield? More like James A. Fartfield, am I right? Alright, you want to put me in there? You want to put me in there? How is he sitting? He's sitting like this. He's sitting like this. Hold on. Like that? You want to put me in the photo? Yeah? Alright. Not the quarter zip. I'd call this a half zip at this point. This shit's low. This shit's low. Just looking lean today? Thank you. Yeah, no, I've picked up my workouts a lot more. 10,000 steps a day outside minimum, and then full body workouts 4 times a week. Chest hair check? Yeah, a little chest hair check for you. What the fuck is that? What is that, a tick? That is a tick. Fucking dog. Die. 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 Alright, it's dead. It's dead. Oh my god, he's actually putting me in there. He's putting me in there. He's putting me in the fucking shot. Oh my god. Let him cook. Let him cook. We'll let him cook. Chris, opinion on Saddam Hussein? Based. Big fan of Saddam Hussein over here. We love Saddam Hussein. I hope to God this gets clipped out of context and then like played on like Fox News when I'm 35 and running for president. Dude, that's the thing. Like, the problem with becoming a politician in today's day and age is you can't just be a good guy. You have to have been a good guy since birth. You have to have never said anything problematic ever. Luigi's going crazy right now trying to fight Dr. Beans. You know, if I got that tick disease and maybe not able to eat meat, I'd probably just go and chew on my pistol somewhere. Yeah, dude, if I ever got that lettuce disease that gives you diarrhea, I wouldn't even know. I'd be shitting wet consistently. Look at this. Look at this. I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm a huge fan of this. Oh, it's so funny. Oh, it's so funny. It's so funny. Can we put devil horns on Netanyahu, by the way? Can we get some devil horns on Netanyahu? Is that something we could do? Get some Satan devil horns on Satan Yahoo. Is that something we could do? Luigi, Beans does not want to play with you. He wants to kill you. Defend yourself. Defend yourself. Defend yourself. He's got to add a back shadow to that frame. He can do whatever he wants to do. He can do whatever he needs to do. That's my king. That's my liege. That's my son. Just got home from meeting the cat I'm going to be adopting. She's the cutest, sweetest little kitty. Oh, that's so nice. I don't know how you could possibly go and see the cat and know you're going to take it and then leave. I ain't that type of guy. I show up. I says, give me the cat. They says, right now? I says, right now. Immediately. Instantly and immediately. Oh, look at this. We got this. We got the devil horns on Satan Yahoo over there. Absolutely fucking beautiful. Luigi. You playing with your toy squirrel? Playing with your toy squirrel? Yeah. What a good little doggy. What a good little doggy. Is there a Valenti VOD for the day? It's okay if there isn't one. I have some stuff queued up and ready to go. Wake me up before you go. Let me see if I wanted to show you guys Hassan derangement syndrome. I wanted to show you guys this. This is really funny. Alright, so on my video about Hassan derangement syndrome, this just happened, but I thought it would be really funny to show you guys this. Some chatter, T. Ravj, commented and goes, first of all, put 2 S's in Hassan, which is always a telltale sign that they've never, like, actually watched Hassan, and the only things that they do know about Hassan are, like, Asmongold takes, or Destiny, or clipped out of context Fox News shit. But isn't Hassan the dog abuser? Says everything I need to know about his need for control. That's a bad look for you. How much did he pay you to advertise? You wouldn't back somebody who would shock Luigi every time she left her little pad, would you? Thought not. So, what was your price? And then I responded, I said, is this satire or are you just a retard? And he goes, yeah, that's what I thought. Why did you delete my other comment? Strike too close to home? And I didn't delete any comment. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. As I said, I didn't delete anything. Whatever you posted was automatically removed by YouTube. But, like, I just wanted to point out the fact that seemingly, when it comes to, I'm assuming this is like, probably not a conservative, probably like I don't know, like a Maoist or some shit. If you support Hassan Piker in any way, shape, or form, there are people out there who assume that he pays you to do so. And also, Hassan didn't abuse his dog. Can't help you there. The only thing about Jocelyn Benson. I'll be voting for her in November because blue, but I don't know much about her. I never heard of her. I can tell you this, though. Please do not vote blue no matter who. Please don't do that. Vote blue, but it depends who, okay? Because right now, we're at a point. We're at what mic and mixer do you use? It's a Scarlett Focusrite cocksucker motherfucker 2.0. But we're at the point now where we have been so complacent to Democrat politicians that they know we're going to vote blue no matter who. You know what I'm saying? And because of that, a lot of establishment Democrats feel like they don't need to actually bend the knee and adhere to what their voters want. So we do need a moment where Democrat politicians learn that if they do not obey us, because that's what democracy is. You are our representative. You are supposed to represent us. You need to obey our demands. Establishment Democrats need to understand that if they don't obey us, we won't vote for Republicans, but we also will not vote for you. See, my example of this would be the 2024 presidential election. A lot of people, like myself, like Hassan, and I'm sure plenty of you, we voted for Kamala Harris, knowing that she would continue to fund Israel's genocide, knowing that she would stand in the way of socialist policies, knowing that she was just a neoliberal, hyper-capitalist cunt, right? And we need to stop doing that. Now, that's not to say you should have voted for Trump or me. It's not to say I should have voted for Trump. But what it is to say is that they are leaning on the fact that they don't need to actually have good policies because they're running against fascists and people will just vote for whoever isn't the fascist. That's simply not enough. It's simply not enough. You need to obey your voters. You need to give us the things we demand. You need to not only cut the funding to Israel, you need to charge American politicians with treason, okay? Like the ones who have been receiving AIPAC money, the ones who voted to merge the U.S. and Israeli militaries into one. On top of that, you can't just abolish ICE. You need to prosecute every single ICE agent. You need to prosecute every single member of the Trump cabinet. These are things that if your establishment Democrat politician is not willing to say, they are not worthy of your vote. Okay? You know who is willing to say that? Abdul El-Sayed. You know who is willing to say that? Claire Valdez. You know who is willing to say that? Daria Lisa Avila Chevalier. There are people that we need to be voting in, but the establishment Democrats need to learn that there will be immediate consequences for them refusing to bend the knee to the electorate. Did I watch Threads? Yeah, I've been telling you guys, listen, Threads is a horror movie. It's not actually a horror movie. It's a, it's a psychological thriller about World War III. But it is so unbelievably accurate and so unbelievably raw and gruesome that it ends up coming off as a horror movie. I have never in my life seen a movie about a nuclear holocaust that instilled the fear of God into me the way that Threads did. There is going to be a person that you were before you watched Threads and the person that you are after you watch Threads. That's just the reality of watching that fucking horrifying movie. It's from 1984, and it is, just so you know, it's all about nuclear holocaust beginning, and it begins with U.S. and Russian forces clashing in Iran during the invasion of Iran. That's literally how it starts, and it's fucking terrible. Fucking terrible. Absolutely brutal. Where can we watch it? Probably on Amazon Prime. This is a movie from 1984, man, so fuck if I know what streaming service holds it. The movie is called Threads. Chris, you remind me of The Punisher with your hairstyle? Really? I fucking love Jon Bernthal. Like, and here's my thing. This is probably my most, Republican take, is that I can, in fact, separate the art from the artist. And I know Jon Bernthal is probably a Zionist. I know he's probably right-wing. But, God, do I love Jon Bernthal. God, do I love Jon Bernthal. I love every fucking role he's ever been in. I saw his Broadway debut a couple of months back for Dog Day Afternoon. He's a Zio, unfortunately, I know. He's actually pretty liberal. Not till you ask him about Palestinians, bet you that. Not that I have any evidence of this. But yeah, no, I fucking love him. Regardless of the fact that he's a Zionist, I love his acting. You know, it's a sad reality, but I am willing to separate the art from the artist when it comes to Jon Bernthal. Brother, he supports the IDF. I know. Still love his fucking acting. Still love his acting. How do you feel about Xbox and PlayStation getting rid of physical discs? Yeah, well, you will own nothing and you will be happy. That's how I feel about it. You're not supposed to own anything. That's the whole point. It's disgusting, but you're not supposed to own anything. Even an actor can change? Yeah, sure, yeah, no, I'll keep hope alive about that. What did Josh just send me? Oh, some stupid Wesley Bell thing. Oh! Buying physical media at a site? Absolutely, absolutely. Xbox isn't getting rid of discs now? Yes, they are. You are wrong. They're not going to do it now, but I hope you understand that Microsoft is absolutely going to get rid of discs. Eventually, everybody's going to get rid of discs. You're not supposed to actually own anything. You're only supposed to rent the digital rights to it. That is good capitalism. That's what good capitalism is, having people paying a monthly subscription fee to have access rather than a one-time purchase for physical discs. That is 1,000% going to happen. If you don't answer me, I will not be able to sleep. Hello. All roads lead to subscriptions, correct. And all roads lead to Switzerland. How long have we been live? 20 minutes. Not long at all. Nintendo is the best. Cry about it. Sonyers and Xboxers. No, Nintendo's going to do the same thing. That's just the name of the game. You're never going to be able to buy. Okay, do you like milk? I'm lactose intolerant. So no, I don't like milk. Oh, now we can get a Bella Ciao. Now that we've got some people inbound. How about that, huh? How about that? Una mattina mi sono alzato, oh bello ciao, bello ciao, bello ciao, ciao, ciao. Una mattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato l'invasor, oh partigiano, portami via, oh bello ciao, bello ciao, bello ciao, 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 partigiano, portami via, che mi sento di morir. Incredible, incredible, incredible. I saw your post on Instagram and immediately had to stop by, but what's the word on Mitch McConnell? No word yet, but midnight was the end of the deadline to hold a special election in Kentucky for the Senate race, which is like if if they announced Mitch's death when he died in early June, they would have had to hold a special election to replace him. But now that we are past August 3rd, now they are going to admit that he's dead. They're going to lie and pretend like he died today or yesterday. They're going to, because what we're talking about is the biggest cover up in like modern American history other than the Epstein files. And it's literally fucking treason. Every single member of his staff deserves to be thrown in a fucking gulag and enslaved. But now that we are past August 3rd, they will probably announce that Mitch McConnell is dead. Maybe they'll do it today. Maybe they'll do it in the weekend. But yeah. That's probably going to end up happening. You have single-handedly made me memorize the entire Bella Ciao at perfect pitch, and I thank you. It's my honor. It's my honor. It's my honor. Do you prefer a rep that is anti-Zionist or a Dem that is... Do you prefer a Republican that is anti-Zionist or a Democrat that is Zionist? There is no such thing as an anti-Zionist Republican. They don't exist. I challenge you to name one. They simply don't exist. There are anti-Semitic Republicans who pretend like they are anti-Zionist, but they are in fact just anti-Semitic. At least we are going to have a Nintendo Switch 3 with physical, mark my words, hopefully socialism gets to the video game industry in 20 years. We'll see about that. Daily Hog Check, how's your hog? It's great. It's doing great. Thank you very much. Thomas Massey is not Thomas Massey is not an anti-Zionist, nor is he anti-Semitic. He is a Zionist. Thomas Massey is absolutely a Zionist. Is he trying to limit aid to Israel? Yes. But if you asked him if Israel has the right to exist, he would say yes. He would say yes. 1,000% he would say yes. Yeah, Thomas Massey is only good on his hatred of Donald Trump. That's it. Frankly, certain Thomas Massey has voted to fund Israel multiple times throughout his career. Oh, the thummy looks great, Nelson. Gotta look at this. Gotta look at this. That's a great thummy. Favorite Spider-Man villain? Green Goblin. Dude, I hate when it fucking does this shit, man. I hate when it fucking does this shit, and it does it more often than you'd think. Your volume issues are a result from censorship from YouTube. We have to crank it to hear you in Fulton, New York. Also, really? That's so, like, I gotta do a poll. Let me do a poll real quick. Let's see. Poll. How's my volume? Too high? Too low? Just right. Start poll. All right, there we go. I got you with a poll here. Let me get some results in here. Do me a favor, vote on that poll, all right? Vote on that poll for me. The overwhelming majority of you are saying it's just right. So I don't know what to do about that, man. I'm telling you, if you're having volume problems, that's on your end. That's on your end. I'm telling you. Fucking 78% say it's just right. 79%. Una mattina mi sono alzato. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Una mattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato un invasor. Your volume is always lower than Kyle Kalinski's in my AirPods. Okay. Maybe he's incredibly loud, but listen, I have a tracker here, right? Where it goes green, and then it hits yellow, and then it hits red. Every time I speak, it goes halfway through the yellow. So, like, there's no point in me making it any louder, otherwise I'm gonna fucking clip. You and Kyle ever gonna collab? I hope so, man. I hope so. I hope so. Listen, you gotta remember, I've only been doing the politics thing for like what? A year, almost two. I'm hoping that like there's also no way to reach out to Kyle. All right, end poll. There's no way to reach out to him. Excuse me. Valenti X Kyle stream would go hard. I know. I know. Listen, you guys stay patient. You keep following. You keep watching the videos. We keep on growing, and eventually, all these people are gonna want me on their shows anyway. You know, you got to give me some time. You got to give me some time. For now, we're doing this the way that it is. We're fighting the way that we fight, and we're hoping that everything works out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Beggars can't be choosers. Beggars can't be choosers. We are Charlie Kirk. We carry the flame. We fight for the gospel and honor his name. We are Charlie Kirk. Anyway, we got a lot to talk about, folks. We've got a lot to talk about. Y'all ready to kirk in? Y'all ready to kirk in? Y'all ready to kirk in? Y'all ready? All right, here we go. Here we go. Kirk in. Here we go. Trump says today is the last day that he will allow Iran to come to the negotiating table before he drops a nuke on them. Granted, the fucking guy has said this like 70 times. Like, dead ass, he's like, oh, if you don't come to the table, I'm going to annihilate your entire nation. And then the Iranians don't come to the table. And he's like, I've decided to postpone the attack by 2 weeks. By 2 weeks. And then 2 weeks goes by, and then he does the exact same fucking thing over and over again. We also have reporting that, like, I've told you numerous times that the United States of America is running out of ammo, that we don't have the ammo to continue this. There's now a Reuters article that says that the U.S. has used, quote, virtually all of its long-range precision missiles. All of it. In a 5-month-long war that we lost, where the goal was to obliterate Iran's nuclear program that we claimed was obliterated last year. So let's break this down. We are now 5 months into a war that was supposed to last 2 days that we waged over a nuclear program that we claimed we obliterated a year ago. That's where we're at. And we're out of ammo. Greatest country in the world, right? Strongest military in the world. Also, Marcus Aurelius Rubius, the Grand Liberador of the Global South, Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, he says that they are pushing forward a new visa program that if you criticize Israel, you will be denied a visa to enter the United States of America. So if you are a foreigner who ever planned to come into the U.S. and you've ever criticized Israel, you are no longer welcome. This is because we are not the USA, we are the USI, the United Slaves of Israel. The Iranians are denying Trump's claim. Trump is saying that tomorrow, tomorrow, the Strait of Hormuz will be open for business. No, it won't. And the Iranians are saying, no, it won't. So, again, I don't know what to tell you other than the fact that every single word that Trump says is a complete bullshit lie. We are also going to be talking about Representative Max Miller, GOP congressman who abused his wife, held a gun to her head, threatened to slit her throat, and poured boiling hot water on her. And he also broke his 2-year-old daughter's clavicle while abusing her. We're going to be talking about his rampant abuse and his refusal to step down, and how finally his ex-father-in-law, the father of the ex-wife that he abused, who happens to also be a fucking senator, Moreno, he is now coming out and condemning him and saying he needs to be thrown in prison. We have some audio tapes of him abusing his wife, so trigger warning on that. It's going to be brutal. He also allegedly posted CSAM of his daughter on Twitter. So this guy belongs beneath the fucking prison. Obviously, Trump came to that man's defense because that's the type of man Trump is. We're also going to be talking about the Michigan Senate race. Today's election day. If you're a Michigander, this is your final chance to maintain sovereignty and independence from the genocidal rape state known as Israel. It looks like Abdul El-Sayed is leading in the polls by a lot. He's the projected winner, and hopefully he wins by a massive fucking margin. And because of that, what the fuck is his name? Mike Rogers, the Republican nominee for Senate in Michigan. He is posting, as you expected, AI-generated slopaganda, except this is depicting Abdul El-Sayed as Odysseus from the Odyssey. The hero of this story. Fucking remarkable. And then we are also going to be talking, the last story, we're going to be talking about how Capital One closed hundreds of Trump's bank accounts in 2021 for anti-money laundering reasons. Seemingly, Donald Trump is the most corrupt politician in human history. We already knew that, but looks like Capital One shut down, over 300 of his bank accounts because he is a corrupt piece of shit. So a lot to talk about. But before we do, friendly reminder, hi, how are you? I'm Chris Valenti. This is the Valenti VOD. Thank you for joining me. If you'd like to support this channel, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and also share this video with your group chat of dumb fuck idiots, okay? And then if you want to help support me financially, you want to help boost independent media, always remember this is real independent media. I've never done an ad read. I've never had a sponsorship. I don't have conversations with advertisers, billionaires, governments, PACs, any of that shit. So if you want to help me out, there's a couple of ways you can. You can click the thanks button down below to tip me directly. Thank you to everybody who's ever donated to the channel that way. You can click the join button down below to become a member of the channel for $5. That'll give you access to member-only content. If you're already a member, you can gift memberships to people, so that's pretty cool. You can also buy merch. We've got posters, we've got mugs, hoodies, stickers, low-cut tops, all that jazz located down below. And then, of course, you can become a patron on Patreon for $5, $6, $7, whatever you want to donate. That'll give you access to all of my YouTube videos on Patreon if you don't have YouTube Premium and you don't want to watch those stupid fucking ads that play. So, yeah, do all that. Help me out in any way that you can. I really do appreciate that. And without further ado, we're going to dive right into the shit. So the first thing I want to show you is a video that the White House posted on their official Instagram account that has 12.3 million followers. I've seen a lot of heinous shit on the White House's page, but this is just like North Korea style. Like the first line in this video is astounding. It's astounding. It's a play on it's a spoof on that AMC, like, you know when you go to an AMC theaters and it plays that video of that blonde actress, I forgot her name, and she's like, "We come here to see stories." I forgot the name of that actress. I know one of you is gonna know her name. But it's a play on that, and I'm just gonna let you watch it. It's fucking heinous.
We come to this place for MAGA.
Off the rip. We come to this place for MAGA. And it's the White House, bro. That's your house. That's my house. That's the people's house. We come to this place for MAGA.
To fight, 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 and win, win, win. Because we need that, all of us. The indescribable feeling we get when we hear the national anthem. And stand together, stronger than ever before. Under this administration, we're going somewhere we've never been. We aren't just watching history, we're making it. Rebuilding our country better than ever. A country where we don't do heartbreak, we do victory. An America that is safer, more secure, more prosperous. And any setbacks that stand in our way simply makes the comeback that much sweeter. Welcome to the golden age.
Yeah, so like, this is the type of shit that would make North Korean TV hosts blush. They'd be like, even we don't have the audacity to make AI-generated slopaganda like that. Just praising the pedophile Fuhrer and claiming the White House is literally designed for the MAGA movement. The MAGA movement, by the way, which represents illegal and offensive forever wars and defending pedophilia. Those are the only two things that that MAGA represents anymore, is defending pedophilia and mass murdering brown kids in the name of Jeffrey Epstein. It's unfucking believable. All right, I'm going to move on a little bit to show you Marcus Aurelius Rubius, the grand race trader of the global south, saying that if you criticize Israel and you are a foreigner that wants to come to the United States of America, you will have your visa denied.
Under President Trump, the United States will stand with the Jewish people. We have implemented a vigorous new visa policy that will prevent foreign nationals from coming to the United States to foment hatred against our Jewish community. We are holding international organizations and nations accountable for rhetoric against Israel that resurfaces in the manifesto of monsters, like Iran and Sarah's killer. But we do see an eventual light at the end of this long tunnel of suffering. One can imagine a Middle East in which the Abraham Accords eventually reign.
So if you don't know what he means one could imagine a Middle East in which Israel is the regional superpower and dominates every neighboring country.
So thank you for the opportunity to address you.
Fucking ridiculous. I know the video looks AI. I know it looks AI generated. I couldn't tell you whether or not it's AI generated. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't fucking tell you. But I can tell you that that's a video I saw and I wanted to share it with you, and that's absolutely the policy of the United States government. That is absolutely what we believe in. All right, so now we're going to talk about Trump's claiming that the Iranians are negotiating with him, the Iranians saying that they are not negotiating with him, and him saying that today is the last day he's willing to negotiate with the Iranians before unleashing hell.
Mr. President, are the talks with Iran now off and are airstrikes
No,
back
they're
on?
on. They're going on right now. It's an amazing thing. We have a little problem with Iran because we have many talks and we'll say we have or we don't have. You know, we're straight about it. But they deny, but they're not denying it now. They just put out a statement not denying it. But for some reason, they, when they're talking.
He looks half dead. He is half dead, bro. This is a fucking 80-year-old diabetic, rotting, fat, fucking pedophile, dude. He's literally dying. He's holding on to his life. He's holding on by a thread, bro. By the fore of his skin, he is holding on.
They don't like saying that they're talking. So I say, wait, we're in talks. Big deal. We're in talks. And they'll sometimes deny it, even though they spend hours.
By the way, that's his tell. We've talked about this before. He talks a lot, but he doesn't always play the accordion. When he plays the accordion, it's his brain's way of stringing together a lie, right? So he is 1,000% lying right now.
And hours together talking. No, the talks are going along. We're going to hit them very hard yesterday. Very, very hard. Harder than any attack. I think I can say, General, from a point of knowledge, any attack since World War II. That's pretty big.
And what he means by that is a nuclear strike. That is the only possible way to penetrate 145 meters beneath the granite mountain known as Pickaxe Mountain, where the Israelis claim that the Iranians moved their centrifuges and highly enriched uranium. Okay, and if you don't believe me, you could look this up yourself. And also, there's already been articles written about this. I think Reuters and New York Times covered the fact that there is quote unquote no weapon in the U.S. arsenal that can pierce that base. Now, that's not true. There is a weapon, but it's a weapon that people don't like to even talk about, and that's a nuclear weapon. Even that, it's not a guarantee with our low-yield tactical nukes. It's not a guarantee that it would even destroy that facility beneath Pickaxe Mountain. Now, again, I do want to clarify that tactical nuke is an oxymoron. Our quote-unquote low-yield tactical nukes are larger than the atomic bombs we dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And the thing is, at the end of the day, if something is a tactical weapon, that means that it has some sort of strategic value. And yet, we've waged many a war and we've never used a tactical nuke. That's because our military officials, our generals, our admirals understand that there's nothing tactical about using it. It's too big. It's too powerful. You'll annihilate the entire enemy. You'll also annihilate half your troops. The wind will blow radioactive fallout in whatever fucking direction and destroy everything. And at the end of the day, wars are fought for reasons. They're fought for resources. They're fought for religious purposes. They're fought for territory. And if you use nuclear weapons, you lose access to all of that. All of the resources are fucking kaput. The land is rendered obsolete. It's uninhabitable. You know, there is genuinely no reason to use the tactical nukes other than preventing admitting defeat. And Trump refuses to admit defeat. That's why he's planning a ground invasion. That's why he's planning the use of nuclear weapons. He refuses to admit defeat. Let's go back a little.
From a point of knowledge, any attack since World War II, that's pretty big, and we were set to go, and they called. And in addition, Saudi Arabia called, and UAE called, Qatar called, got calls from numerous people. I don't want to use the word begging, but some were, in particular, Iran did not want to be hit. And they said, we want to talk. We want to talk about the Strait, but more importantly, from my standpoint, we want to talk about the denuclearization of Iran.
You can't denuclearize a nation that doesn't have a nuclear weapon, you stupid fuck.
This is what it's all about. This is why I'm doing this. And it should have been done. It's now 50 years. We keep saying 47 years, but 3 years have gone by. But it's for 50 years that other presidents should have been doing or other countries. Didn't have to be us, but other countries.
All right, moving on. Here is a timeline from the Hormuz letter of all the times Trump has done this, where he says, we're going to hit you harder. We're going to hit you so hard that you're going to be begging for your mommy. And then he pulls back. So here's a little timeline of it. March 21st. Threatened to hit and obliterate Iranian power plants unless the Hormuz Strait opened within 48 hours. March 23rd, delayed strikes for 5 days, citing productive conversations with Iran. Iran denied these talks. March 26th, further delayed the deadline for attacks on Iranian electrical and energy facilities to April 6th, saying talks were progressing very well. Iran again denied those talks. April 5th, extended the deadline to April 7th. April 7th, warned a whole civilization will die tonight. Then he announced a 2-week ceasefire. April 21st said he expected to be bombing if talks failed. Later, he indefinitely extended the ceasefire after Pakistani appeals. May 5th paused Project Freedom U.S. operation to escort ships through Hormuz, citing great progress towards a deal. Iran denied to have made any progress. May 17th warned the clock is ticking. May 18th paused planned strikes after requests from Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the UAE. June 11th said the U.S. would hit Iran very hard tonight and threatened Iran's oil and gas sectors, including Karg Island. Hours later, he canceled the whole operation, saying a deal was near. July 25th through 27th ordered a halt to new strikes and paused around 13 days of intense daily U.S. strikes to give negotiations another chance, while reports came in of major shortages of interceptor missiles. Iran also denied to have asked for new negotiations. August 1st said the U.S. was locked and loaded at levels not seen since World War II. Later canceled the planned massive attack, claiming Iran wants a deal. Iran denies wanting a deal and denies any negotiations with the U.S. And then that leads us to today. August 4th, set a new deadline, giving Iran until the end of today to finalize a Strait of Hormuz agreement with Oman or face devastating airstrikes before decapitation. We will likely see the same pattern today. Now remember, we want Trump to taco. I want Trump to pussy out of all of these strikes. I don't want any innocent Iranians to be killed in the name of our pedophile Führer. But it is okay to point out the fact that Donald J. Trump is an absolute hypocritical fucking pussy, and you don't need to take his words seriously ever. However, you should remember, we are talking about a Alzheimer's-ridden, demented 80-year-old man who has access to the world's largest nuclear arsenal. So if he does ever have a little freak-out, tweak-out moment and click that button, we are all dead. So, you want to know the reason why Trump is canceling all these strikes? This is why. This is a Reuters article. U.S. has used virtually all of its long-range precision missiles during the Iran war. Jesus fucking Christ. The U.S. has used virtually all PRSM and ATACM munitions, two sources say. U.S. also burned through a little less than half of its global Tomahawk supply, one source says. Some officials worry that the low stockpiles will affect U.S. readiness should another conflict break out. Now, I've been saying this for a long time. I'll say it again. I believe this is the Chinese long game. The Chinese do nothing and win. All they have to do is allow the United States to keep on fucking premature ejaculating and firing off our entire arsenal. And then when the Chinese want, they'll just waltz right into Taiwan. I don't even think we'll put up a fight. I genuinely think that if the Chinese tried to take Taiwan, we would not even attempt to defend it. But just to clarify my point, I am hoping that China takes Taiwan. I'm hoping there is peaceful reunification. Taiwan is inherently Chinese territory. I understand that the Taiwanese people, they get to choose their own future, but I do not believe in the United States of America or NATO waging war in defense of Taiwan, especially against China. If Taiwan is really concerned about that, Taiwan can raise its own military, use its own money to get its own missiles, and they can fucking defend themselves. I do not give a shit. New York and Washington. The U.S. Army has used up much of its global stockpile of highly accurate long-range missiles during its 5-month war with Iran, according to 3 people familiar with the data, raising concerns about the military's readiness for future conflicts. The missiles are principally the Army's surface-to-surface weapons, known as Army Tactical Missile Systems, or ATACMS, and the ATACMS. Oh, that sounds like a cereal that blows you up. And the precision strike missiles, PRSM, the U.S. has used virtually all of these weapons, according to two of the sources. Oh, gee, where have we heard that before? That's right, you heard it here on the Valenti Videos broadcast, where I have been saying for about a month now that we are out of ammo. Admiral Bradley Cooper went to Trump and said, listen, Don, we fucking bombed every target you gave us, and it didn't do diddly shit. We've hit every single target, and yet their resolve has only strengthened. They rebuild their fucking bases like a bunch of busy bees. You can't just bomb them into submission. It's not possible. You have to come to a diplomatic solution. The thing is, Donald can't get a diplomatic solution that is favorable to the United States of America. It's not possible. The only diplomatic solution is the complete and total surrender of the United States military and handing Iran all of the concessions that they demand. That's where we're at. Okay. Oh, a butterfly. A butterfly just flew by in the window. The degree to which the military is running out of ATACMS and precision strike missiles has not been previously reported. The long-range munitions, which cost more than $1 million each, are an important part of the military's arsenal. Friendly reminder that we're getting our asses fucked by Shahed drones that cost $20,000 each, and we're using $1 million a pop missiles, allowing accurate strikes from a safe distance. U.S.-supplied ATACMS have played a key role in the war in Ukraine, allowing Ukrainian forces to attack targets inside Russia. The PRSM is a newer, more advanced generation that will replace the ATACMS, which have a shorter range. So, something a lot of people are not willing to address, but I fucking am because I have no loyalty to the Democratic Party, is this is not just Donald's fault. This is also Joe Biden's fault for just handing the Ukrainians every last fucking missile we have, just opening up the shed and saying, have at it. You know what I'm saying? I believe that there should have been, there is a stipulation where I believe the Ukrainians have to pay us back. It's like sort of like the Lend-Lease Act back during World War II. But I think it was an insane decision to not force the rest of the NATO allies to be arming Ukraine. And it was pretty much only the United States of America. We are now so out of ammo, it's not even a fucking joke. The dramatic rundown in precision long-range missiles means that U.S. Führer Donald Trump may have to rely on more riskier, piloted bombing missions if he relaunches large-scale attacks on Iran. The sources declined to say how many of each munition the U.S. had left. The pedophile Fuhrer launched the Iran war jointly with Israel in February, predicting that the conflict would last a short time. 2 days is what he said. But as the war drags on, the three people familiar with the matter expressed worry that the falling missile supplies could limit the U.S. ability to deter adversaries, including Russia and China. A fourth person familiar with the matter said that despite the high usage of precision weapons, the U.S. can resupply. Which is also, this is the reason why Donald has been begging the Iranians for a ceasefire. It's not in good faith. A ceasefire is supposed to lead to an armistice, right? A ceasefire is, all right, let's stop shooting at each other for a limited time while we negotiate, come to terms to have a full end of conflict, right? That's not what the Americans are using a ceasefire for. We're using a ceasefire as like a timeout period, I'm out of ammo, to rearm, reload, and then relaunch the attacks. And the Iranians aren't stupid. They're not falling for it. So they're not going to hand us any sort of ceasefire. Even today, the Iranians were bombing ships in the Strait of Hormuz, launching attacks on American bases across the Middle East. The Iranians understand that they have the upper hand in this war. All right, a fourth person familiar with the matter said that despite the high usage of precision weapons, the U.S. can resupply. Central Command, which oversees U.S. forces in the Middle East, has been able to reload from U.S. military supplies around the world, the person said. The sources interviewed for the story spoke on the condition of anonymity. Asked for a comment on the stockpile data, the White House issued a statement from the Fuhrer, saying the U.S. had, quote, far more munitions than anyone in the world and far more than we need. That's the type of shit that you say as a drug dealer when you have no weed and you don't want your customers to go somewhere else. Okay, dead ass. Trust me. Okay, being like, I've got endless weed. I've got more weed than anybody. You just give me like 48 hours. Okay, like this is. You might as well just admit that we're out of ammo. Our defense companies are at the moment making more munitions than they have ever made. Oh, this is what Trump said. Let me reread it. Our defense companies are, at this moment, making more munitions than they have ever made before, in addition to expanding their plants and equipment at record levels, the Fuhrer said. Analysts agree that certain munitions, including artillery shells and several types of missiles, are being produced at record levels, but caution that supplies might fall short of what is needed for a prolonged war. Lockheed Martin, which makes the ATACMS and the PERSMs, along with the anti-ballistic missile THAAD systems, did not immediately respond to questions about the Fuhrer's statements or about supply levels. Raytheon, which makes Tomahawk missiles and Patriot interceptors, two important U.S. weapons, also did not immediately respond. Responding to a request for comment, the chief Pentagon spokesperson, Sean Parnell, said, America's military is the most powerful in the world and has everything it needs to execute at the time and place of the president's choosing. We have executed multiple successful operations across combatant commands while ensuring the U.S. military possesses a deep arsenal of capabilities to protect our people and our interests. The supply figures have circulated inside the federal government over the last week during tense conversations inside the Trump regime about how much longer the U.S. can continue striking Iran without drawing down the stockpile to levels that would limit the military's ability to respond to crises elsewhere. If you want to read this entire article, it's available on Reuters. It is called "The U.S. Used Virtually All of Its Long-Range Precision Missiles During the Iran War," sources say. So, listen, if you're in the military, I hope you understand something. You're worthless. And that's not me telling you, that's Trump saying it. You are as replaceable as your fucking rifle. We are now at the point where we have run out of our interceptors, and reports show that the United States of America is allowing Iranian missiles to hit certain U.S. bases because there is like a importance level, you know, and let's just say your son or your daughter is stationed at one base rather than the other. The Trump regime is sacrificing your son or daughter in the name of Baal and Moloch and saying, you know what, fuck it, let the Iranian missile hit that base and kill those young men and women so that we can defend this base over here. We are, unironically, rationing our ammunition in the name of Jeffrey Epstein. That's where we're at in the United States of America. And this is the fault of you, MAGA voter. This is the fault of all 79 million red hat wearing, window licking troglodytes, subhuman, inferior vermin who are incapable of logic, critical thinking, or self-preservation. You should have known this from the beginning. We all knew that Donald Trump is a fascist, warmongering pedophile. We all knew that he was going to lead us into a war in Iran. We all knew that he was going to destroy the United States of America from within, because whether or not the man is a Manchurian candidate doesn't matter. He's acting like a Manchurian candidate. He is either operating at the behest of foreign governments to destroy the United States of America, or he is so unbelievably fucking stupid and corrupt that he is okay with destroying the United States of America as long as he and his family and his fascist goons get to profit the tens of billions, if not trillions of dollars that they have been profiting through insider trading and just, you know, the most corrupt schemes you could ever fucking imagine, which will bring us to our last story at the end here, which is a Capital One shut down 300 plus Trump bank accounts, which, by the way, if you've got 300 plus bank accounts, you're already committing crimes. You have to be committing crimes. All right, let's move on here. Middle East crisis live. Rubio hopes the U.S. can reach a Hormuz deal with Iran very shortly, as officials say progress has been made. We've got new updates. I'll hit that after, but Iran and Oman make progress on a deal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, officials say. Iran and Oman have made progress towards a deal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, a potential breakthrough that could help end the war from the Middle East, regional officials have said. Under the emerging agreement, ships would enter the Persian Gulf through an Iranian-controlled route and exit through a route controlled by Oman, with service fees charged for providing security and preserving the maritime environment, two regional officials told the Associated Press. They said negotiations are still underway and the final agreement could take a different form. They said any deal would be linked to the lifting of the U.S. blockade on Iran's ports. The officials spoke in the condition of anonymity. So here's the thing. I do believe that these negotiations are happening, that the Iranians and the Omanis are coming up with some sort of deal where, as it says here, Iran controls the route and exit with, help from Oman. But what this says is essentially what was in the MOU. Iran controls the strait, Iran charges a toll, Iran tells you where and when you can go. So even if I believe these negotiations are happening, the Americans are not part of this negotiation. And when the terms land in Trump's lap, he will not accept them. I can say that with 100% certainty. He will not accept the terms of this deal, and this war will continue to move on, or will continue to escalate. Now let me refresh here because it said there were some new updates. Let's see. Masoud Pezeshkian, Iran's president, has been forced to deny claims that he has repeatedly threatened to resign as he battles hardline factions opposed to reaching a settlement with the U.S. over the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. and Europe hope a deal is imminent to reopen the strait, and they are putting pressure on Oman to accept a temporary agreement that officials in Muscat fear will leave Iran retaining near permanent dominance of the vital oil shipping channel. Ships would enter the strait in a route close to Iran, but leave on a route that passes through the Iranian and Omani waters. Dude, you know what's crazy? Every fucking Battlefield 3 map I played on back in 2012 is coming to life. Damavan Peak, that was a map. We bombed the Damavan facility. Karg Island, that was a map. We're getting ready to invade Karg Island. The Ukrainians bombed a ship on the Caspian Sea, right? Caspian border was a map. And now, Omani waters, bro, you know what was a map in Battlefield 3? Gulf of Oman. I don't know who the fuck wrote the storyline of Battlefield 3, but like they might have been a time-traveling magician. Far from being feted over an imminent diplomatic victory, Pezeshkian said he was instead forced to deny that he had repeatedly offered to resign, verbally and in writing during a television interview marking his second anniversary on the job. Pezeshkian accused some of wishing to create a rift inside Iran and said, "If I want to resign, I will officially announce that I have resigned. I will not resign. I will stand." All right, more. Iran warns U.S. warships over altering routes in the Strait of Hormuz. So remember what I just showed you. It said that in order for the Strait of Hormuz to open, Iran will dictate what routes ships can take. So the U.S. has been trying to, go around these routes and use the Strait of Hormuz and like a different part. Iran is saying that they will bomb any ships that try and do it, and they don't just talk the talk, they walk the walk. I'm pretty sure they bombed an Indian-flagged vessel today. Tehran warns that it will target U.S. vessels attempting to alter approved shipping corridors or maintain a naval blockade. Iran announced that it would target any U.S. warships that may try to impose a different route than the one Tehran has allowed for ships crossing the Strait of Hormuz. Mohsen Rezai, a senior advisor to Iran's supreme leader, said Monday. Quote, "We won't allow the second corridor to open. Even if the U.S. deploys warships, we will target them," Rezai said in an interview with Iran's state media. Rezai also warned of targeting U.S. ships and bases if the country continued the naval blockade on Iran. Quote, "There will certainly be serious dangers to any U.S. ships and bases. We will not sit and watch the U.S. continue the naval blockade." While the American Führer said on Monday that he expected negotiations to begin the next day or two after threatening that newly planned talks with Iran are the, quote, "last chance for Iran to forge a deal before devastating strikes in the country," Iran immediately denied holding new negotiations, saying the Islamic Republic was only working out an agreement with Oman at the moment over a temporary route for shipping through the Strait of Hormuz. Foreign Ministry spokesperson Esmail Baghai insisted the strait, the critical waterway where about a fifth of all traded oil and natural gas flowed before the start of the war, will, quote, "remain closed until U.S. violations end." Cargo vessel hit by unknown projectile. Meanwhile, a cargo vessel in the Strait of Hormuz off the coast of Oman was struck by an unknown projectile, a British maritime agency said on Tuesday, without giving specifics on damage or injuries. Authorities started an investigation into the vessel, which had not been named. The United Kingdom Maritime Trade Operations said, adding the incident occurred 37 kilometers northeast of Al-Qasab, Oman. All right, more here. This is the Iranian response to Trump saying that the Strait of Hormuz will be open soon. Iran rejects U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and Trump's claim that the Strait of Hormuz will open tomorrow under a new deal, saying Iran-Oman-Hormuz negotiations held without U.S. participation are instead aimed at establishing an immediate corridor that will halt both the current Iran-controlled northern and U.S.-backed southern routes, giving Iran as a coastal state fully protected sovereignty, interests, and national security, an informed source tells Press TV. Iran adds, quote, "Trump has violated his commitments, and Iran is moving toward with its plan to establish arrangements in the strait independently of U.S. threats, and it will succeed," saying, "Iran does not shape its interests and priorities based on the schedule or demands of the American Führer." The agreement with Oman would grant Iran total sovereign authority over all inbound maritime traffic, with Oman's limited role being to clear outbound vessels, but only after notifying Iranian officials, ensuring Iran retains visibility and the option to intervene. Yeah, so, I mean, there's just really no way to paint it other than the fact that the Iranians hold literally all of the fucking cards. And also, Trump is at like a state of panic because Trump lies all the time. He knows his fucking approval rating is plummeting. When he says, "my real poll numbers are super high," that's not confabulation. That's not him saying something that he believes to be true. That is him just actually lying, and he knows he's fucking lying. And the reason I know that he knows that he's lying is because he is panicking so much, he's making demands to the oil lobby who funded his entire campaign, demanding that they lower the price of their retail gasoline for American consumers, which would, unironically, cripple their companies. Now, do I want them to lower their prices? Yes, but their prices are not being price gouged. They're not raising the prices of gasoline because it's fun and they can make a profit. They're raising the price of gasoline because the price of oil on the global market is skyrocketing because all of the most important waterways for oil flow are being shut down. The Strait of Hormuz, the Bab el-Mandeb, the fucking Red Sea now, potentially even the Suez Canal, despite the fact that our oil ships can't even make it through the Suez. But everything's fucked. Everything's fucked. Here's him yelling and demanding that the oil lobby lower their prices.
You lose money with windmills.
Mr. President.
You lose money with windmills. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
please, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Go ahead, who are you with?
John Fredericks Media,
Yeah, that's right.
original name.
What was your name before?
John Fredericks.
Go ahead, John.
Mark. Two domestic questions, sir. The first one is Exxon and Chevron Integrated Oil U.S. just announced record profits second quarter. Unbelievable. For Exxon, for instance, 14 billion highest they've had in over a decade. For Chevron for the quarter, highest in history.
By 12 times.
On the back.
You saw that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable. On the backs.
I don't like it.
Workers paying higher gas.
Yeah.
Is our...
They're making too much money. Okay. Based on a shortage, they're making too much money. I don't like it. And I should be the last one to say, because I'm a big free enterprise guy, nobody bigger. And, you know, you're going to see oil when we're finished with Iran. You're going to see the prices drop through the floor.
He's said that every single day since day one. By the way, we are 5.5 months through a war that was supposed to last 2 days.
But they made too much money. Too much money. Chevron, too much money. ExxonMobil, too much money. When you look at one company where they made 12 times what they made the year before, they're going to give some of that back to the public. And they better cut the retail price, the consumer price. Too much money. You're surprised I'm saying it? I'll say it loud and clear. I'm not happy about it. Go ahead.
So what are you going to do, Donald? You're going to send them a strongly worded letter? Is that what you're going to fucking do? This is him trying to save his ass, bro. He ain't going to do diddly fucking shit to get gasoline companies to lower the price of gas. All right. I have a little bit of CNN coverage here. We don't need to watch the entire thing, so I'm going to speed it up a bit, and we're going to listen to CNN's take on Trump saying that this is Iran's last chance. For what, the 50th time?
Donald Trump himself says Iran has a, quote, last chance to sign a peace deal, but the US president not placing a deadline on negotiations, saying it's because he's not on the ballot in November's midterm elections. He also calls Iranian leaders unbelievably duplicitous as he and Iranian officials...
Unbelievably duplicitous? Bull fucking shit Donald ever said that, dude. When I read that on Truth Social, I was like, yeah, no, he didn't even write this.
...dispute his account that talks between the countries are underway. Iran today threatened to strike American warships if the US naval blockade reimposed last month continues. Well, Elena Treen connecting us from the White House. Unbelievably duplicitous is how Donald Trump then describes the Iranians. A source regionally told me yesterday that the US, Iran and Oman are in discussions. Not clear whether those are direct negotiations, though, between the US and Iran at this point. What are you hearing there?
Yeah, I've been catching up with my White House sources here, Becky. And look, part of the reason you heard the president use that language yesterday, saying that Iran is incredibly duplicitous, is I was told by one White House official that he was fuming yesterday when he was seeing all of the reports from the Iranians essentially arguing that, no, they had no plans to move forward with talks and negotiations on this, and that, Iran was saying that they were solely having these negotiations with the Omanis. White House officials argue that's just not the case. What they told me, and of course, as we've seen throughout this entire war, Becky, a lot of this is, you get one version of events from the U.S. side, another version of events from the Iranians, but they argue that there was a huge uptick in reach out from the Iranians and from different officials, people like the foreign minister, Abbas Araghchi, to U.S. officials directly throughout the weekend, trying to solve particularly this issue on the Strait of Hormuz. I do want to note that the latest we've heard on a potential deal is coming from the Qataris today, a spokesperson for the Qatari foreign minister.
Yeah, no, this woman could literally carve a diamond with her jawline, dude. That shit is nuts. She's very pretty. I'm not insulting her, but she could carve a diamond with her jawline.
Arguing that there are drafts of a potential agreement that are being circulated and that all parties are in discussions here. But from the president's view, he's willing to see how this goes. I think from the conversations I've been having, he's very much in a wait and see kind of place and posture right now. He does, of course, his ultimate goal, which has been the same goal really from the beginning, is he wants there to be some sort of long-term permanent deal to both reopen the strait, have free flow of traffic through that key waterway, and also a deal on nuclear. The issue has been, of course, can they actually get there, particularly after the strikes we've seen exchanged between both countries in recent weeks, really continuing to chip away at the lack of trust between these two countries. There's also a different issue that's been developing here in Washington, Becky, which is there are many people, and White House officials acknowledge this in my conversations with them, many people in the intelligence community that aren't confident that the Iranians will ever agree to a deal or ever honor any sort of commitments that they might make.
Well, no, the Iranians will agree to a deal, but they will only agree to a deal that gives them the concessions that they ask for, and rightfully. That's what happens when you win a war. That's what happens when you win a war, and the Iranians won the war. So now we get on our hands and knees, apologize, and concede. Do I want to pay more for gasoline? No. But do I understand that this is what happens when we, the United States of America, loses a war? Yeah. Do I want, if I had to choose between the Strait of Hormuz being open for everybody or the Strait of Hormuz being controlled by Iran, of course I would choose the former. And that's what we had up until February 28th. But unfortunately, 79 million subhuman inferior vermin voted for a warmongering fascist pedophile. And that man is blackmailed by the Israelis. There is a vault in Tel Aviv with videos of him raping children. So when Benjamin Netanyahu ordered his little doggy, Donald Trump, to bomb Iran, he had to do it. Now, not only did the blackmail play a role, but you had people like Lindsey Graham, who is now burning in the fiery pits of hell with Charlie Kirk and Mitch McConnell. You had people like Lindsey Graham traveling over to Israel because this isn't a joke, Lindsey Graham committed treason multiple times. Traveling over to Israel in order to get coached by Benjamin Netanyahu on how to go home to the U.S. and convince the pedophile Fuhrer to wage this war for Israel. Now, that's not my take. That's what Marco Rubio said. 2 days into the war, Marco Rubio himself said, "We are waging this war because Israel told us to." Israel said they were going to bomb Iran if we didn't. And now, this is what Israel has said to every single American president for the past 60 fucking years. But all of them had a pair of balls, unlike Donald Trump. And they stood up and said, absolutely the fuck not. No, we're not doing that. You know, and then Israel chickened out and they didn't start their war with Iran because Israel knows they could only win this war with the United States military, the Legion of Goyim, fighting and dying for them. The IDF is only good at killing children and women. That's all they're good at, innocent civilians. That's what they did in Lebanon. That's what they're doing in Gaza. That's what they did in Gaza, and that's what they're doing in Lebanon. That's what they've done to all of their regional neighbors. The IDF also gets mollywopped by Hamas, who are the orphaned sons and daughters of the men and women that they have killed. They get mollywopped by bottle rockets and AK-47s. You know, like, Israel is never going to send their soldiers into the battle against Iran. They will send our soldiers.
And so that's adding to this as well. The president, for his part, though, wants to give diplomacy a chance, but he's also reserving the right to continue with attacks if needed. So unclear where this leads, but I know currently they're optimistic that there will be some sort of announcement regarding the Strait in the coming days.
There won't be. The Strait of Hormuz is not going to be open. Okay, that's all I've got for you. We're going to move on to our second video of the day. I didn't realize how long this was going to go. We're going to be talking about Max Miller, GOP congressman who held a gun to his wife's head, threatened to slit her throat, poured boiling water on her, and he broke his 2-year-old daughter's clavicle. And how like he is like having like a fucking schizo freak out on X, posting like videos and audios that quote unquote like clear his name, and meanwhile it's just like making everything fucking worse. And how his ex-father-in-law, who is a senator, is now calling for him to not only resign, but also to be thrown in fucking prison. So we're going to make our second video now. If you're watching this pre-recorded on YouTube, thank you very much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing. It helps me immensely. And if you want to support the channel, please do. You could donate. You could buy merch. You could become a patron. You could become a member. Lots of different ways. If you're here live, you stay. We're going to keep on going. And for the pre-recorded audience, one more favor. Click that video somewhere on the fucking screen. It's a banger. And I know bangers. All right, so that one's good. Nelson, you still here, Big Daddy? You still here, Big Daddy Nels? Big Daddy Nelson. Big Daddy Nelson. Let me text him. Oh, he is still here. All right, Nelson, we're gonna do a video about Max Miller. I guess you could just get like this one could be pretty easy. It could just be Max Miller looking nuts, and it could say GOP congressman or Republican congressman abuses wife. You know, you know what we're talking about, so you could figure that out, right? That's what I pay you for, right? Right. Or do you need some more guidance on that? Maybe you need some more guidance on that. You let me know. You let me know. You let me know. You let me know. Should I cut off my mom if she's still MAGA and believes that no other opinion is right besides Fox News? Absolutely. If you're a grown adult, like, and you don't really need your mom for anything anymore, cut her off fully. Let her know that she has to choose between her child and Donald Trump. Let her live with that. Cut her off. I cut off my half-brother entirely. I haven't spoken to him in fucking years now. That's the moral decision. All right, y'all ready? Y'all ready to kirk in and talk about the second story of the day? Y'all ready to kirk in? Here we go. Here we go. Let's do it. There's a GOP congressman, a Republican congressman by the name of Max Miller, and he abuses his wife, he abuses his daughter, he held a gun to his wife's head, he threatened to slit her throat, he poured boiling water on her, he broke his 2-year-old daughter's clavicle. His ex-wife's dad is actually a senator, right? And the whole fucking story is it's being blasted all over the place because this drug-addicted Republican congressman, Max Miller, he's like trying to cover his own ass by making videos on Twitter. And like, I don't know if he has like an online team, like a social media team, but they make him look fucking insane, like actually insane. Obviously, Donald Trump came to this man's defense because Donald Trump also abuses women regularly. He actually rapes women regularly. He actually rapes children regularly. These are all facts. So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about this fucking scumbag piece of shit. And we're also going to be talking about how this motherfucker refuses to step down. And the midterms are coming up. So you're going to have a wife-beating, child-beating drug addict running for Congress in November. And on top of that, we also have his father-in-law or ex-father-in-law demanding that he steps down and even that he goes to fucking prison. We're also going to be talking a little bit about the Michigan race because today's election day. Everybody go out and vote for Abdul El Sayed if you live in Michigan. He is the only hope for you to maintain sovereignty. The other option is Haley Stevens, who has taken $46 million from AIPAC. And then an additional tens of millions of dollars from corporate lobbies. She even said, "Israel comes to me in my dreams." That's a real quote from her. And then we're also going to be talking about Capital One closing down 300 plus Trump bank accounts because he is committing fraud and he's just the most corrupt politician in human history. So a little bit to talk about. We're going to dive right into it. But before we do, hi, how are you? I'm Chris Valenti. Welcome to the Valenti VOD. This is real independent media. I've never had a conversation with a sponsor, a government, an advertiser, a billionaire, a politician, or actually, no, I have talked to politicians, whatever. I don't make any fucking money on this channel other than grassroots donation and the AdSense revenue. The only reason why I tell that to you is because I got to pay my bills somehow, and you also got to boost independent media. So if you want to help me out, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share this video with your group chat of dumb fuck idiots. Now, if you do want to help me out financially, put some food into Luigi and Beans' bellies and keep the OAL media operation running, there's a couple of ways you can donate. You could buy merch. We got posters behind me. We got posters, hoodies, mugs, stickers, low-cut tops, you name it. It's all available down below. You can click the thanks button down below to tip me directly. You can click the join button down below to become a member of the channel for $5. That'll give you access to member-only content. And if you're already a member, you can gift memberships to other viewers. And then last but certainly not least, you can become a patron on Patreon by donating $5, $6, $7, whatever you want to donate. It goes a long way, and you get access to every single one of my YouTube videos on Patreon without the YouTube advertisements if you don't have YouTube Premium. So, without further ado, we are going to dive right into this story. We watched a little bit of this yesterday, and I'll give you a friendly trigger warning here. This is a abusive male. This is a man who abuses his wife, abuses his daughter, and he is going, if you've ever been abused, it's going to be very reminiscent of that abuse. It's fucking diabolical, the shit that he says. It is all going to be bad, so if you don't want to watch that, be prepared. You're not going to see any graphic imagery or anything like that, but it's fucked up.
My former wife has claimed that during a custody exchange at my home that day, I assaulted her.
I want to point out also that this man looks high as a fucking kite, and I firmly believe he is high because the allegations are that he is a drug addict, he is a wife beater, he posted, CSAM of his own daughter on Twitter. It's really bad.
Here's what actually happened, and I have the Ring doorbell footage that backs it up. She came to my home in a good mood, and we have text messages to prove it, which you'll have, to pick up our daughter early for a friend's birthday party. She was inside my house for several minutes when she left. The video shows her walking out, carrying our daughter calm, in the same good mood, showing no distress whatsoever. And as they left, you can hear me say, "Goodbye, I love you, and I love you, Ruthie." Literally telling my ex-wife that I still cared for her. Does that sound like somebody who would just walk out and who had been violently thrown a wall and been abused? She didn't call the police after that. She didn't go to the hospital, ladies and gentlemen. Do you want to know what she did? She went straight to a child's birthday party.
So you're saying that she continued to be a good mom even after being abused? You're saying that your daughter, Ruthie, wanted to go to a birthday party and your wife, even after being abused, locked the fuck in the way that mothers really do more often than you would ever be willing to admit, and took her daughter to a birthday party, and that she didn't freak the fuck out because you didn't want to traumatize her baby. That's what the fuck you're talking about, you psychopath. You fucking wife-beating, child-beating, drug-addicted piece of shit.
The very next day, we had a friendly phone call about our daughter's upcoming hospital procedure, and I drove in from Washington to be there for it. 6 days.
Oh, it froze for a second.
Upcoming hospital procedure, and I drove in from Washington to be there for it.
Oh, I guess it froze.
6 days later, she offered to cook empanadas for me for dinner. Just
Guys, if I beat my wife, would she really make me empanadas? Is that your defense? Is that your fucking defense? What the fuck?
2 days later, after this alleged incident, the day after that, she invited me and my girlfriend, and which you'll have in text messages, to join her and our daughter at a playground.
Oh, so you're saying she was trying to keep her daughter's father as a part of that daughter's life? You know, like, this is a very common trope that you see among, you know, abused women, is they don't just get abused once and go, that's it, pack a bag, take the kid, dip, and never talk to you again, especially when there's a child involved. She's trying to navigate the murky waters of being abused by the man who is the father of her child. Trying to keep you, like, you should be fucking grateful that she even gives you a chance to be a part of your daughter's life. I hope to God you lose full custody of your child. I hope to God that that child never gets to see you again. Now, here's the thing. That will be incredibly traumatic for that child. But it will also be better off for them in the long run. And your ex-wife was trying to do what the fuck she could in this insane situation. My God.
And that day, I just went with my former wife to the playground to spend time with our daughter.
Oh, you're such a good guy. You're such a good man. I didn't bring my girlfriend when I met with my wife and our daughter because I didn't want my daughter to say, who's that random whore? Shut the fuck up.
A week later, on February 15th, she wrote to me in her own words, which you will see, I think it's great you and I are in a friendlier place.
Yeah, rather than you beating the fuck out of her, holding a gun to her head and pouring boiling hot water on her.
She then offered me more extra overnights with our daughter, which I can prove to every single one of you is recently. Every one of these messages is time-stamped on our court-sanctioned co-parenting app and is all in the packet. Only weeks later did the story of February 1st assault appear, so ask yourself, if I had assaulted her, would she have offered to cook me dinner 6 days later?
Yeah. Yeah, probably, yeah. Yeah, no, that actually tracks. Like, bro, if that's your defense, you thought I was being facetious when I said that earlier. No, that's his actual defense. If I had abused my wife, would she have made me empanadas? What the fuck? Like, this is such insane levels of gaslighting, but don't worry, you're gonna really hear him on the phone with this woman, and he is such a fucking piece of shit.
Would she have invited me to spend an afternoon at the playground with her and our daughter? Would she have written that we were in a friendlier place?
That wasn't your computer or mine.
No, she wouldn't have, ladies and gentlemen.
Jesus fucking Christ. He posted this himself, by the way. He posted this on his own fucking account. But he also posted this to try and cover his ass, and this is demented.
It never was done to hurt you, and you know that. You were weaponizing this because of my previous...
It never was done to hurt you. He's talking about when he poured boiling water on her. So you're admitting to having done it. He's admitting to having done it, but he's saying, like, I didn't do it to hurt you. Then what the fuck did you do it for, you sociopath?
It never was done to hurt you, and you know that. You were weaponizing this because of my previous allegation.
And then you knew it was because you went into my bedroom when I was crying.
So Emily, So,
you started crying,
so Emily,
saying, I didn't mean to hurt you. I didn't mean to hurt you. Why are you scared of me?
I didn't mean to hurt you. I didn't mean to hurt you. Why are you scared of me? Is what he fucking said. Bro, acting like such a little fucking baby back bitch. Like this is, like, they make caricatures of this in Family Guy. Like a guy who fucking hits his wife and goes, why'd you make me do that? You know, like, you're a fucking caricature. You abusive, drug-addicted psychopath.
So Emily,
I didn't mean to hurt you. I didn't mean to hurt you. Why are you scared of me? Why are you scared of me?
I didn't mean to hurt you. It wasn't done with intent. You just said it yourself.
So I hurt you, but I didn't mean to hurt you.
You literally just said it yourself. It wasn't done to hurt you. And I told you before that not to come over to me and start screwing around with me.
So you're sitting there going, don't come near me or I'll hurt you. Don't come near me or I'll hurt you. And then she comes near you and then you hurt her and you say, why'd you make me hurt you? Yeah, dude, you belong beneath the fucking prison. You should have your fucking tongue cut out.
It was Emily. You're taking a playful incident and making something nefarious.
It's not playful. You have hot water.
Emily, going out of the faucet, it does not get to a temperature of boiling water.
You're just admitting it. You're just admitting it, bro. You're just admitting, yeah, I got the water as hot as I could get it. But that wasn't boiling water. What the fuck?
It does not.
Put it on when you get home, Max, and see if you can get it.
I did it, and I tested it, and I had our attorneys test it because I figured that this is what you were going to come at me with.
It's literally at you.
But literally, it's like standing under a hot shower, and we already have someone to go ahead and combat this if this is what you're going to do.
Jesus fucking Christ, dude. No fucking shame. All right, now this is fucked up. This is a new filing from Emily Moreno. Emily Moreno is the ex-wife. This is a filing from her lawyer. And it says here, I don't know if I could zoom in here, but it says, the first time Miller shared the folder, it contained private images of Miller and Miss Moreno's daughter and left her name unredacted. At least one of those images could be considered child sexual abuse material, or CSAM, because the daughter's genitals appear to be visible. The photo was in a document entitled EX306 OFW Messages, February 1st to 25th, 2026, with attachments labeled MG9158 in the bottom right corner. The post with the link to the folder published under your name garnered over 204,000 views. So he posted on his own Twitter child porn of his own daughter, and it garnered over 200,000 fucking views. Under the prison. Under the fucking prison. Finally, Senator Moreno, Bernie Moreno, the father of the abused ex-wife. I know it's weird that, so the abused ex-wife's father is a senator and her husband is a congressman. Now, Bernie Moreno didn't speak a word about this for fucking months. He kept his mouth shut because he is more loyal to the Republican Party than he is to his own fucking daughter. But only now that this is becoming a huge fucking story and people are calling out how much of a pussy boy piece of shit Moreno really is for not defending his daughter, only now is he coming out and talking about this. So here's a clip of a failure of a fucking father finally coming to defend his daughter, not because it's the right thing to do, but because mainstream media is covering this. And if you recognize his face, this is the guy who was grilling Anthony Fauci and was trying to clip farm him and said, who the fuck do you think you are? That's the guy that this is. He has more smoke for Dr. Fauci than he does the man abusing his daughter and grandchild.
Apologize to you.
No, he did not.
Oh, and by the way, listen to the question here.
Senator Moreno, did the lawyer for Max Miller apologize to you?
No.
Did the lawyer for Max Miller apologize to you? Now, what they're talking about is because Max Miller tried to defame this guy. I don't know if it's true or not. It probably is true considering Republicans' affinity for homosexuality, but tried to claim that this man had like a gay dating app profile from like, I don't even know, I think it was years ago, like 2017 or some shit, and like posted that he was trying to meet up with young men, and not children, but like young men for sex. So here's the thing, I would believe that, but you're not even trying to defend yourself against the abuse allegations. You're trying to say, don't look at this shiny key. Look, her dad is gay. That's what you're trying to do. It's fucking disgusting.
I did not.
Do you believe that Max Miller should resign from Congress right now?
Did you read my statement?
You said he's unfit to serve
No.
Congress.
I did not. I said absolutely and affirmatively that he shouldn't serve in Congress, that he needs serious help. That's exactly what my statement says. My statement speaks for itself.
You said that you're in response to your statement that it was to protect from your own circus. To that you said what?
It's the ramblings of a madman.
What did you
I don't even know what that means.
What did you think of Miller telling Trump he could still win the election?
Look, I don't care about the politics of this. I hope that you guys understand, and maybe I hope you never have to understand what my daughter's been through, what my daughter's going through, what my wife is going through, what my my two boys and my other daughter are going through. This is truly the 7th level of hell. This has been a horrific experience for my entire family. My daughter specifically did not want this to be out in the public. That's why she asked me to lower the temperature. You got to remember, when you don't have kids and you get divorced, you can just say farewell. You never have to see each other again. But when you have a child, you have to co-parent with that individual for the rest of your life. That means scheduling pickups, scheduling drop-offs. This is not something that you can just say, I'll never have to deal with this guy again. My daughter lives in constant fear of this man. Not like something that's existential, but deeply in her heart, she fears what this guy is capable of.
It is absolutely existential. This man has custody over your granddaughter, and he is going to place all of the rage and all of the hatred that he has for his ex-wife on that little girl. He's already broken her fucking clavicle when he abused her. So what the fuck do you mean this isn't existential? Now, also, here's the thing. What he's doing here is absolutely the right thing to do, but it's too little too late. This story is months old and you have been radio silent, allowing a wife-beating, child-beating, drug-addicted psychopath to stay as an elected member of the U.S. House of Representatives. When you had all this fucking knowledge, you chose party over family. You sick fuck. I listen, I'm heavy into politics, okay? But like, family comes first. Always. Your blood comes first over your party alignment. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking demented. It's fucking demented. Chris, check your neck. It's a fucking mole, you psychopaths.
You can't fathom what that makes me feel like when the dad's #1 job is to protect your kids. And to have this whole thing out in the public like this is not what I wanted to do. It's not what my daughter wanted to do. But on Sunday, when he went out and did what he did, including releasing photos of my granddaughter completely naked, that now you have hundreds of thousands of psychotic human beings that have that, and to say oops is grotesque. My personal opinion is that this is a felony and that every single human being that touched that photo and transmitted it electronically should go to jail.
100%. That's the spread of child pornography.
Because it is illegal to do that. This has been brutal beyond comprehension. And if there's any minimum standard for being an elected official, as I said, he fails to meet that minimum basic standard.
There isn't one. You have to wake up to that reality, bro. The President of the United States of America is a child sex trafficking pedophile rapist. There is no standard to become an elected official, especially in your party. Your party supports pedophilia. You ever wonder why the only states that have a lower age of consent than 18 are red states? That's because Republicans read the Epstein files and they feel jealousy, not disgust.
I don't care about the politics at all. Don't think about it. Doesn't enter my consciousness. Okay?
But respectfully, why didn't you say something earlier? This has been going on for such a long time.
I explained, as I just said, and as maybe you don't understand, when your daughter tells you you have to de-escalate this thing because you want to keep it private, this has been going on for 2 years.
Bro, he's blaming his own cowardice on his daughter. This guy's just as much of a piece of shit as the man who abused his daughter.
Why did you just cover it today instead of covering it a year ago? This has been going on. This was about
a year ago? You've been sitting on this for a year while this man was in Congress? Bro, you belong in prison. You belong in prison.
Escalation. Every single week, she has to go arrange for a pickup and drop off of this little child. Just this Sunday, I had to go. Imagine this. I had to go pick her up because I don't want my daughter interacting with this man. So I meet him at the Bay Village police station.
The fact that you're even willing to see this man in person and you don't have the balls to beat the fuck out of him tells me everything I need to know about you. I know that there's plenty of people in here with children. And if somebody held a gun to your child's fucking head and broke your granddaughter's collarbone or clavicle, the fact that you couldn't be like, I need somebody else to do it because if I see this man, I'm gonna kill him. You're a fucking pussy. You are no father. You are no man. You are a weak, gelatinous, spineless little fucking cretin.
Because that's the place that we have to go to meet, because I don't know what this guy's capable of. She comes over, gets in our car, we drive away, and if anybody who's a parent, she has a little blue bunny that she sleeps with. Max would not hand over the little blue bunny.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Literally held it hostage for 48 hours. This girl is crying at night because she can't sleep without her little blue bunny. And his answer is, I'm just not going to give it to you. So finally yesterday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, yesterday, he lets the little blue bunny go. This is the level of total and complete depravity. Do I want all this in public? No. Do you have any idea that what it's like to go through physical abuse and then mental abuse and then to relive it over and over and over again? That's what my daughter has tried to avoid. She hasn't made a single solitary public statement. Max feels like he needs to go on a publicity tour, which I just don't understand.
He's trying to cover his ass before he runs for re-election.
Remember, at the end of the day, that little 2-year-old is going to be an adult. And unlike when I was a kid, when maybe there's 2 or 3 pictures of me that my parents had, she's going to have high definition videos, she's going to have news stories, she's going to have everything out there. She's going to read that as an adult going, what the heck happened and why is my life the subject of so much publicity? It is grotesque where we are today. And that's I don't care about the politics. Do not ask me a single question about the politics. I do not care at all. Okay, I've been very, I don't want to, I'm not running away from you guys. I have to go to another meeting. I've told you guys more than I need to say. If you could just please protect the privacy of me and my family. I've answered your questions. That's all the questions I'm going to answer, okay?
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Absolutely fucking disgusting. Now, of course, the pedophile Führer, Donald Trump, is running defense for Max Miller, the abuser. Here's your clip.
Representative Max Miller should resign from Congress over the allegations, and you said that you'd have a look at it. Have you thought about that? And also, do you think that
it's a very sad thing? I know Max. He's a good person. I mean,
he's a good person, bro. Of course he's a good person in your eyes. You're a child rapist. You're a child rapist. Of course he seems like a good person in your eyes.
He's a good person. I mean, I always thought he was a very good person. And I'm going to let the families figure that out. You know, those families, I know they're working on it. It's a very sad thing, especially when you know somebody so well, to be going through that. But it's accusations, and God. I'm going to let them figure that out. Yeah.
Oh, God. Of course. It's just accusations. Yeah, and when you were mentioned over 2 million times in the Epstein files release, that only included 2% of the entirety of the Epstein files. Thems were just accusations, right, Donnie? Birds of a feather, they flock together. Fucking piece of shit. All right, I'm going to move on to something a lot brighter to kind of cleanse your palate here. Michigan Senate race, Abdul El Sayed is winning by a lot right now. All of the projections are that he is going to win with a clean sweep. It's not even going to be close. Granted, always prepare for the worst, but it seems like Abdul El Sayed is going to win in the Michigan race, and he's becoming such a threat to the Republican nominee, Mike Rogers, that Mike Rogers, he's not even making anti-Haley Stevens ads. He's only making anti-Abdul El Sayed ads because he knows he's going to have to run against Abdul. And he posted, as all Republicans do, more AI-generated slopaganda, and his most recent advertisement against Abdul El Sayed paints him as Odysseus. I'm not kidding. Get a look at this. That Trojan horse said definitely not communism.
They'll never see us coming.
Wait, was that Bernie and AOC? Wait, is that Zoran? Bernie, Zoran, and AOC.
They really think we're just Democrats.
I'm probably going to get a copyright strike for that audio, but don't let communism into Michigan is what that says. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. And also people are panicking. Laura Loomer even knows he's going to win. This is what Laura Loomer posted. She goes, "Today, Abdul El Sayed, a Muslim Brotherhood supporting jihadist candidate for Senate, will win his Democrat primary in Michigan because the GOP and Democrats were too afraid to call him what he is, a jihadist. The whole country is being taken over by Muslims who are likely going to encourage their supporters and voters to murder non-Muslims when they hold power in Congress." Do you think she believes this shit, or do you think it's just like, desperate, throwing as much shit at the wall as you can until it fucking sticks? The GOP won't even say the word jihadist because our party is so influenced by Qatar. Well, that's true. But no, they're not calling him a jihadist because he's not a jihadist, and that's straight up defamation. America is becoming a very dangerous place to live thanks to Muslims and communists. It's pathetic, but it's also great to see them desperately freak the fuck out over the fact that an actual progressive is going to end up becoming one of the senators from Michigan. All right, last story of the day. Capital One says it closed hundreds of Trump's bank accounts in 2021 for anti-money laundering reasons. Let's get a look at this.
Capital One says it closed hundreds of bank accounts associated with President Trump and his businesses for, quote, anti-money laundering reasons. Those claims were revealed in a recent court filing made by the institution in response to a lawsuit by President Trump, who claims the accounts were closed for political reasons. The bank did not accuse the Trump organization of money laundering, only saying that the decision was made after a months-long investigation. A spokesperson for the Trump organization calling the explanation baseless.
So Capital One says it closed hundreds of bank accounts associated with the pedophile Führer Donald Trump and his businesses in 2021 for anti-money laundering reasons, according to a recent court filing from the financial institution. Excuse me. Capital One disclosed a money laundering review for the first time in a motion to throw out the Führer's lawsuit against the bank over the closure of his business's bank accounts, which the Trump family has alleged was politically motivated and unlawful. While the bank did not accuse the Trump organization of money laundering, Capital One said Trump's accounts were closed after a months-long review by the bank's anti-money laundering team, not for political reasons as alleged by the Führer and his family. Quote, "The closures were a result of months of analysis and a careful review by Capital One's AML team in accordance with bank policies and regulatory guidance." Lawyers for the bank said in a court filing on June 31st, Capital One never publicized the termination decisions nor its confidential internal process giving rise to the closure, and it permitted plaintiffs several months and granted several extensions to find new banking services, which they did. In a statement to ABC News, a spokesperson for the Trump organization alleged that Capital One was trying to manufacture a justification to close the accounts, quote, "to conceal what was plainly a politically motivated decision to debank the Trump accounts." Quote, Capital One's after-the-fact attempt to justify its debanking of Trump-related accounts is completely baseless. Following the events of January 6, 2021, Capital One manufactured a post hoc rationale by selectively resurrecting a handful of isolated transactions that had occurred years earlier and never once been identified as a cause for concern, the spokesperson said, referring to the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. The lawsuit filed against Capital One last year by Trump's trust, his companies, and his son, Eric Trump, alleged that the financial institution canceled approximately 385 bank accounts associated with the Fuhrer for political reasons following the public backlash to the January 6th attack. Now, here's the thing. The bank accounts were not closed for political reasons, but even if they had been, that would have been fine. I would have supported that. After Trump tried to lead an armed insurrection to overthrow the United States government, he should have had every single one of his bank accounts drained. He should have been put on the no-fly list. He should have been arrested. He should have been charged with treason, and he should have received capital punishment. That's what should have happened. So I don't care whether or not this is political or not. What I care about is that this needed to be done, and it's still not enough. Quote, plaintiffs have reason to believe that Capital One's unilateral decision came about as a result of political and social motivations and Capital One's unsubstantiated woke belief that it needed to distance itself from the pedophile Fuhrer and his conservative political views. In essence, Capital One debanked plaintiffs' accounts because Capital One believed that the political tide at the moment favored doing so, the pedophile Fuhrer's family wrote in their lawsuit. The Fuhrer similarly sued J.P. Morgan Chase over debanking allegations. J.P. Morgan said the Fuhrer's lawsuit has, quote, no merit, and that they close accounts because they pose legal or regulatory risk for the company. That lawsuit is pending. Capital One instead argues that the basis for closing the accounts was the lengthy anti-money laundering analysis and review conducted by the bank. Months before closing the accounts, Capital One agreed to pay $390 million penalty to the Financial Crimes Enforcement Network for failing to implement and maintain an effective anti-money laundering program. Quote, Capital One's decision to close the plaintiff's account only became public because of the plaintiff's own decision to pursue this litigation, the motion said. U.S. District Judge Roy Altman, a pedophile appointee, tossed the pedophile's lawsuit earlier this year because his attorneys failed to state a legal claim, but he allowed them to file an amended complaint last month. New York prosecutors heavily scrutinized the Fuhrer's financial records after he left the presidency in a civil case brought against the Fuhrer that focused on the alleged inflation of his assets to get better loan terms, and a criminal case centered on the allegation that the Fuhrer falsified business records to hide hush money payments made to an adult film star, Stormy Daniels. Neither case involved allegations of money laundering. The Fuhrer was convicted in 2024 for falsifying business records as well as found liable for inflating his business assets. He has appealed both cases, and a mid-level court tossed the financial penalty associated with his civil case last year. So, it shouldn't surprise you that Trump is the most corrupt politician in human history. None of this should be surprising to you. We already knew this. But we are finally seeing some consequences for his actions because the tide is turning against the fascists. Now, here's what needs to be done. This will be the final note for this video. What needs to be done after the Fuhrer dies or is no longer the president, every single building with his name on it, they need to remove the name. Every single bank account run by the Trump crime family needs to be drained. Every single member of the Trump bloodline, including Kai Trump, his fucking 18-year-old granddaughter, every single one of them needs their bank accounts drained, and they need to be thrown in prison. No due process, no day in court, none of that. If you want to move forward as a nation, we need to do what we didn't do to the Nazis. Don't forget, after World War II, only 12 Nazis were executed in the Nuremberg trials, okay? 12. The remaining fucking 400,000 were allowed to go back to their fucking rock that they crawled out of and spread their ideology to their children. We need to imprison the entire Trump bloodline, his entire cabinet, drain their bank accounts, and scrub their name from the fucking history books. That is how we have to move forward. Is that fascistic? One might be able to argue. Do I give a fuck? Not in the slightest. Anyway, Thank you very much for tuning in. If you're here live, you stay. We have to get these videos uploaded. If you're watching this pre-recorded on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and share this video with your group chat of dumb fuck idiots. If you want to help support the growth of independent media as we watch the collapse of mainstream media stooges who are bought and paid for by big corporations and the repugnant genocidal rape state known as Israel, then there's a couple of ways you can help me out. You can buy merch like the posters behind me, that's located down below. You can click the thanks button to tip me directly, located down below. You can click the join button to become a member of the channel for $5, located down below. And of course, you can become a patron on Patreon by donating $5, $6, $7, whatever you want to donate. It goes a long way and it gives you access to every single one of my videos on Patreon if you don't have YouTube Premium to get rid of the YouTube ads. Thank you very much for tuning into the Valenti broadcast, and don't forget to click that video on screen. It's a banger, and I know bangers. All right. All right, I'd call them two little bangies. Yeah, I'd call those two little bangies. Would you? I'd call those two little bangies. You dig? Beautiful, Nelson. Beautiful. Nelson, you still here? You want to add me in this? You want to add me into that? Yes? Okay, I'm thinking... You dig? You dig? I dig it. All right, we'll let Nelson cook while we get these videos uploaded, and we'll also make our advertisement. Get these processing before we make the ad. Go. All right, let's make the ad. Okay. The United States military is actually and literally completely out of ammo when it comes to our long-range precision missiles. This is twofold. A big part of it can be blamed on Joe Biden for just giving the Ukrainians a never-ending supply of our munitions, and then the second half of that can be blamed on the pedophile Fuhrer for waging an illegal offensive war in the name of Israel and using literally all of our fucking ammo to accomplish absolutely nothing. So that's going on, and at the same time, Trump says that today is the last day that he's willing to give Iran to come to the negotiating table. That's the 76th time that he's given Iran a deadline, and he's just going to extend it again because he's literally all bark, no bite. And he is a little bitch. He's a bitch, like a dog. He's a little doggy with a leash on his neck, and the man who's operating that leash, his master, is Benjamin Netanyahu. Never forget that there was a vault in Tel Aviv with videos of Donald J. Trump, the president of the United States, raping children. That's a 100% confirmed fact. He has been blackmailed through Jeffrey Epstein at orders of Mossad. That's the reality of the situation. Also, there's a GOP congressman by the name of Max Miller, who is a drug-addicted, sociopathic, wife-beating child beater. He held a gun to his wife's head. He also poured boiling water on her. He also broke his 2-year-old daughter's clavicle. He's an absolute piece of shit. But he refuses to step down because he wants to be reelected in November. Also, the father of the wife that he abused is a fucking senator. And that senator has been keeping his mouth shut for over a year because he is more loyal to the Republican Party than he is to his own fucking family. But now, finally, that more and more people are talking about the story, this is Senator Moreno. He comes out and he's like, yeah, no, my family's been going through hell, man. This is just terrible. You sat on this story for over a year and allowed this man to remain a fucking elected official without informing the public that he held a gun to his wife's head and abused his daughter, and he is a drug-addicted psychopath. You are equally as much of a fucking demented piece of shit as the man who abused your daughter and granddaughter. Fuck you, kick rocks. And then also on some good news, Abdul El Sayed is projected to win by incredibly high margins against Haley Stevens. Haley Stevens is the one who said, Israel comes to me in my dreams. So this is the Senate race in Michigan. Hopefully Abdul wins. You've got people already losing their fucking mind. You've got, what's the name of the guy that he's running against? I forgot the fucking name of the guy he's running. The Republican nominee is posting AI-generated videos of Abdul as Odysseus in the Trojan horse, as like Islamic terrorists are infiltrating the U.S. government. Absolutely fucking diabolical shit. Laura Loomer called him a jihadist. Of course she fucking did. Laura Loomer sucked off Donald Trump to completion. That's a real thing that happened. Anyway, 2 new YouTube videos. Go check them out. Valenti Videos on YouTube. Mwah, 2 new YouTube videos. Mike Rogers, that's his fucking name. Thank you. All right, Trump. All right, hold on. The U.S. is out of ammo. Trump gives Iran until the end of the day to make a deal, or he nukes them. GOP congressman abuses his daughter and wife. Abdul is winning. Two new episodes of the Valenti VOD on YouTube and Patreon. Okay, let's save that as a draft until those videos are actually uploaded. All right, so here is our first thumbnail, which I think is absolute fucking gas. Hi, Weenie. Hi, Bean. Episode 521. And this is episode 522. All right, titles. Breaking. The U.S. military is out of ammo. Trump gives Iran until the end of the day to open Hormuz. Trump, let's see, Trump demands Iran opens the Strait of Hormuz by the end of the day. Despite reports that we are out of ammo. Trump demands Iran opens the Strait of Hormuz by midnight. There we go. Despite reports that we are out of ammo. The U.S. military is out of ammo, LMFAO. By the way, guys, if you're having fun in this live stream, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. It costs you nothing. It helps me immensely. And if you want to help support this channel and the growth of all independent media, not just myself, my growth means the growth of other independent media, okay? As long as we start growing while at the same time mainstream media is on a rapid decline, we will create a better news environment, okay? So if you want to help me out, you can buy merch, you can click the thanks button, you can click the join button, you can become a patron on Patreon. A lot of different ways. Thank you very much. Screen, next, public. All right, we are going to publish this and then trim the fat. Trump says today is the last day that he will allow. Okay. The U.S. military is out of ammo. Okay. Let's get the second video uploaded. This Republican, all right, hold on. Republican Congressman Max Miller holds gun to his wife's head and breaks 2-year-old daughter's bone. This GOP representative is a wife beater, a child beater, and a sociopath seeking re-election. This man represents all Republicans. Alrighty. Trim the fat. There's a GOP congressman. Alrighty, all the videos are uploaded, which means I could get the advertisement uploaded, and then I have a special treat for you guys. Oh my god, the camera, it did it again. I have a special treat for you guys. We are going to watch the Hassan Piker documentary on CNN. You guys hear about this? Or at least parts of it. We're not going to watch the entire fucking thing. Probably not, because I'm pretty sure it's like an hour long or some shit. We're going to watch the Hassan Piker documentary. Okay? Mods, if any of you could find me the link to that, that'd be huge. If not, I'll search for it, but I just got to get these advertisements uploaded. A little sweet treat. Yeah, it's actually kind of crazy how much of a W this documentary is. Because I've seen clips of it, and like it actually makes Hassan look great. And the fact that CNN was willing to upload this, they must have fought tooth and nail against posting this, because it makes Hassan look great. And Hassan is great. I know, you saw me ripping my pinky. I know. All right, let's upload it on TikTok. Let's get it uploaded on YouTube Shorts. I am making a Chris Valenti calendar. When is Chris's next photo shoot? No fucking idea, guys. No fucking idea. My fucking nips, bro. They're so hard they could carve through diamonds. Two new episodes of the Valenti VOD. Hi, Weenie. You know I'm done, don't you? You want to come up. I'll let you come up in a second. Let me just get this uploaded on Instagram. Two new episodes of the Valenti VOD tube. Also, let me just make one real quick Instagram reel. Michigan, this is your last chance. Now is election day. You have to vote for Abdul El Sayed. Or your other option is Haley fucking Stevens. You know what? Wait, no. Hold on. Michigan, now is your final chance. It's election day. You have to get out and you have to vote for Abdul El Sayed. The other option is fucking Haley Stevens, who has received over $46 million from the Israel lobby, plus an additional tens of millions of dollars from giant corporations. And she famously said, Israel comes to me in my dreams! Not only is she just ideologically a Zionist, but she does not give a fuck about a single Michigander. She is going to sell you out so she can fatten her fucking pockets, just like she has fattened her pockets the entire fucking time that she has been in American politics. Get this bitch the fuck away from power instantly and immediately. You have until, I think, 8 o'clock p.m., I might be wrong, maybe 9 o'clock p.m. to get out there and vote. Go and vote in person, considering these fascist fucks are trying to rig all of the elections and ban mail-in ballots. You have no guarantee that your vote will be counted unless you vote in person. Go vote for Abdul El Sayed right fucking now. Michigan. Go vote for Abdul El Sayed right now. Time is running out. Your sovereignty is on the ballot. At Abdul El Sayed. Does Abdul follow me yet? Let me check. No, but he... Oh, wait, no, he does follow me. Oh, and we've DM'd before. I forgot about that. We have DM'd. Oh, Jesus, that was a long time ago. That was a long time ago. Luigi. Hi. Bean. Hi. All right. It looks like you have to pay to watch it. I'm pretty sure I'm a paid... I'm pretty sure I pay. Let me check. Hi, Beans.
Are you...
This isn't it at all. At least what you sent me. Nelson, that's not it at all.
Are you combined?
All right, you know what? We'll just watch it Hassan style.
Dollars was spent to oppose.
Hassan posted it.
I think the Democrats have an
Trying
attitude.
to fuck with their paywall, which is really funny. I know the camera. I know. I'm fixing it. I'm fixing it. Okay. You know what I'll do is I'll move me. Oh no, I can't. Where should I move me so that you guys can see Hassan? I can go up top where the chat is. Yeah, we'll put me here for now.
Sometimes that because of lesser evil voting and harm reduction
from the DNC,
they feel like they're entitled to the vote of the average citizen.
Yeah, you're all set.
Thank you.
Too loud, sorry.
From the DNC. What's going on? I'm not committed to the Democratic Party. That doesn't mean I'm going to vote for the Republicans, obviously. That, like, terrifies people. Hi. Hassan, nice to meet you.
You're going to go live as soon as you get up
Yes.
there. Piker had been invited to the convention as part of Creators for Camelot.
This backdrop is ass, right? But that backdrop, this is fire.
An attempt by the DNC to bring streamers and influencers into the Democratic tent. But Piker had other ideas.
Free Palestine!
Like the protesters gathering outside the convention's gates, and like even some of the delegates on the convention floor.
Yeah, first day I went to
Vice
the
President
Palestine
Harris,
rally instead of the
we
DC.
will support you. When you call for a ceasefire and an arms embargo,
Irish,
you will
yeah.
be greeted with the most applause.
Piker was threatening not to vote for the Democratic nominee for president.
Thank you. When are you endorsing this ticket? I mean, when I see some momentum on Gaza.
David Hogg, a survivor of the Parkland shooting and co-founder of March for Our Lives.
David Hogg was in Chicago too, and while he'd gone on TV backing Harris...
Why do young voters like Kamala Harris?
Ultimately, I think it's that they're excited for somebody new. He warned the party needed to change its approach to the war in Gaza.
Lift the siege on Gaza now!
I'm not a foreign policy expert, but I don't think you need to be one to know that what we're doing hasn't been working. I don't want to see this horrific violence continue anywhere.
From the river to the sea!
Why do you think there was such division here at the DNC? Because the Democrats are in charge right now. They're the power. They're the party in power. They are funding and facilitating, aiding and abetting Israel's genocidal campaign in Gaza.
The issues that Piker and Hogg were talking about back in Chicago have come to play a defining role in the fight for the future of the Democratic Party.
This is pretty good so far. Okay, Donnie cooked.
Hogg and Piker are now part of an insurgency.
Hogg has pledged to spend millions funding primary challenges to what he calls asleep-at-the-wheel Democrats.
Hassan Piker, who, to quote Politico, is driving a wedge in the Democratic Party.
An insurgency against centrist Democrats. One that is challenging party norms.
These races do seem representative of this real struggle the party is going through right now, post-2024.
And energizing young voters.
Abolish ICE, free Palestine, and tax the rich.
An insurgency that hopes to spark a revolution in the Democratic Party.
Well, I mean, I did rip his shit. Let's be real. Shout out Big Z.
It's No Kings Weekend, and tens of thousands of people, young and old, have descended on Midtown Manhattan.
Where do we think the front of this actually is?
Honestly, I don't believe in the Democrat Party at all. I think they're all feckless losers.
The Iran war has been raging for months, and while everyone here is protesting President Trump, many are also frustrated with the Democratic Party.
This is big because, like, Donnie is basically trying to, like, educate the boomers that watch CNN that, like, what's actually going on.
And nobody wants to be in the
the
center right now.
Cynthia Nixon, who played Miranda in Sex and the City, ran for governor of New York as a progressive in 2018.
I've always identified as a Miranda.
Yeah, I've known him for years.
What has, do you think, changed?
I was a day one fan of his at CNN, and I've watched his career.
I think not enough has changed within the Democratic Party. And I think the Democratic Party is a slow, lumbering giant, very slow to wake up.
Let's just say this documentary was probably very hard to push at CNN, like very hard to get out at CNN.
The election of Zoran Mamdani to Democratic Socialist, which is a
By the way, chat, this is 49 minutes long. We are not going to watch the whole thing. We're going to watch the first 20 minutes of it, and then I got to go. I got to take Luigi out. I got to prep dinner for myself. There's a lot of shit that I got to do. I got to work out. I have a lot of shit to do.
dirty word for a lot of people. We've got more and more people like him running across the country.
At the heart of the insurgency is the DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America.
Yeah.
The DSA is the largest socialist political organization in the country,
That's a Hassan
and
Abiy
it's
head.
working to pull the Democratic Party
He's
to
in
the left.
he's in Detroit. Tall guy.
Today they are holding
He's
a
in
rally
Detroit right
here
now.
in
He's
the
in
Bronx in
NYC
support
DSA.
of their
Those
New
are
York candidates.
all NYC. This is all New York City.
It's not Bernie, it is you. It's all of us together. The work that you did to elect Zoran as mayor will not only impact this city, it is reverberating all over the world.
He's right.
You're a Democratic Socialist.
I am.
You've never run for office before.
Darliza Avilia
Dari's
Chevalier
great.
is one of the
I've talked to Dari. Like, dude, it's so fucking crazy to me how far I've come. I know that we're watching the Hassan Piker documentary, but Hassan's been in the biz for a long time. He's 35 years old. All credit goes to him. He's been working his fucking ass off. But, like, fucking 90% of the people that we're going to see on this, I've talked to before. I've talked to Abdul. I've talked to Dari. I've talked to Claire. I've talked to Brad Lander. I've talked to Zoran. I've talked to all these fucking people. Jamal Bowman, you fucking name it. And this is all because of you. This is all because of you. It's not because of me. It's because of you. I wouldn't be able to do none of this shit if I didn't have you guys at my back, so I really do love all of you.
Girl.
Just you fucking wait, gang. You are here in chapter 2. Chapter 1 was me getting fucking molested in high school, addicted to cocaine. Chapter 2 is the rise of the fucking Phoenix. Chapter 3 is going to be the global takeover, I'm telling you. You just wait till I'm fucking 30 plus.
DSA in New York.
Folks need to be able to see themselves in the Democratic Party again. I, like them, have felt abandoned by the establishment. Instead of sending all our money onto these foreign wars, we need folks who are willing to reinvest that money into our communities, into our babies, making sure that we have universal child care, free public education from cradle to college.
Hassan Piker has become a regular fixture at rallies.
That's Chris Rabb. Chris Rabb. I've talked to Chris Rabb, too. I fucking dabbed up Chris Rabb.
Earlier,
candidates, many of whom are seeking to unseat Democratic incumbents.
Make some noise for Hassan Piker!
I was at this fucking rally. I was in the crowd, not in the regular crowd, in the elevated platform on the left side for content creators, because I'm goated like that.
I have never seen.
I saw this speech live, bro. I got to go backstage and interview motherfuckers.
Talent as bold and as brave as the New York City DSA slave. People are demanding a different politics, something not beholden to corporate or pro-Israel or imperialist interests.
Michigan Senate candidate Abdul El Sayed plans to rally with far-left anti-Israel streamer Hassan Piker.
This is about being able to bring people back into our politics.
As Piker's influence has grown, so too has scrutiny of his political positions.
Ken from New York Times. That's the guy who was covering me in real time when I got
9/11,
kicked out.
I'm saying
the DNC. Palestinians have a right to dignity, a right to emancipation, a right to live free lives, free from this occupation. Doesn't matter. Now it's a clip show. If rapes happen on October 7th. Like, that doesn't change the dynamic for me even this much.
Some view Piker and the wider DSA and left-wing movement as dangerous.
Hassan Piker.
Oh, Shoykat Chakrabarti. I was DMing Shoykat as well. Motherfucker, yo, Hassan, I'm coming for the throne, king. When you're too old to do this shit, you pass the torch and I'll carry the flame. We are Hassan Piker, we carry the flame. We fight for the Quran and honor his name. We are Hassan Piker.
Outspoken, toxic, anti-Semitic.
My baldest op, Jonathan.
The DSA is an insane.
He's my baldest op. I got a lot of bald ops.
Oh, there it is again. I told you, as I said, the people who put two S's, what's his name, J.C. Schmidt, I don't like Hassan with two S's. If they put two S's in Hassan's name, it means they've never watched his content. They have only seen the clips, like the out-of-context clips from like Destiny or Asmongold or Fox News. Always remember, if a motherfucker can't spell Hassan's name right, they don't know fucking shit about his belief systems. It is a fucking canary singing.
Literally rat poison anywhere outside of the most deep blue places in America.
Yeah.
Those people call themselves Democrats. Call yourself Democratic Socialist.
I mean, I think a lot of them do, right?
Good. But don't call yourself Democrat.
Others see the campaign as a reckoning for a party out of step with its voters.
There's the debate about what voters want and what makes a candidate electable. The battle for the future of the Democratic Party is not going to play out like it used to.
So I'm hitting the campaign trail. Talking to candidates.
Let's go knock some doors and let's win.
And those working behind the scenes, following the fight for the future of the Democratic Party.
What do we do?
Cory Bush.
Don't say f these pod libs, bro. They probably defended me, okay? Calm down. You guys are so silly. Dude, this is aura. This is aura. So far, this has been fire. I love it.
I thought that was it? Oh,
No. It's just a commercial break. No, so I don't know how long it is. It's probably like 20 minutes.
I was like,
it's not gonna be like an hour. It's probably gonna be only like 20. Yeah, he was just stimming. He was just autistic stimming. Cause he had to say that because Elon is super pro-Israel, super wealthy, so like he has to defend these guys who are like shred up fucking Nazis.
Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. A deadly school shooting.
Dude, there's another one. Oh my God, literally, as soon as you start watching like any Hassan video, oh my God, the camera did it again. As soon as you start watching a Hassan video, all of the anti-Hassan neoliberals come in. There's another one. Hey, how's the dog abuser doing today? Anyone checked on Hassan? And look, just like I told you, 2 S's. Bro, every single person who hates Hassan Piker can't even spell his fucking name right. Like, it's insane. I'm telling you, bro, just clock it. If there's 2 S's in Hassan, ignore the message. It's probably an Israeli bot or some neoliberal cuck who watches Asmongold.
South Florida. The shooter walked down the hallway. I heard a young man crying for his mother.
After 17 people were killed in a shooting at his high school in Parkland, Florida.
People are going to
David Hogg is the other. I'm dying for your take on Elizabeth Lane, reporter making rounds. She seems sus to me, like an infiltrate. I've never heard of Elizabeth Lane. I'm sorry.
He's like following
But when
along.
you don't take action, things like this eventually will happen to you.
David Hogg dedicated his
You know what's
life
funny? I was at that rally. I spoke at the March for Our Lives as well. Ironically enough, many years ago.
February of last year.
How are we doing, fellow Democrats?
He became co-chair of the DNC and led an effort to unseat Democrats in primary elections who he said were asleep at the wheel.
We are here to find the most effective young people in our country, truly generational leaders, and replace people that are failing to meet the moment right now.
It's pretty unusual for a top member of Democratic leadership to openly plot to kick incumbents out of office. And yet, that's what my guest today is doing.
The move was not well received by party leaders and party elders.
To go out and raise money to defeat members of the same party. I think that's
he hates both of us. Well, he likes
After
David
a few
now.
months, Hogg resigned from the DNC, but he's continued fighting for generational
No, he's Bill
change.
Clinton's campaign manager from back in the day.
I want to introduce.
Hassan is on the right track. He just shouldn't have a dog. Sorry if that puts my nuts in your mouth and you don't like it, but facts are facts. It's just not a fact, though. He didn't abuse his dog. And he raised that dog on live stream. You can watch him raise that dog. He's never once abused that dog. The one thing you have to point at is a fucking clip of his dog pinching its fucking nail in between the ground and its bed and screaming. And dumbass, window-licking fucking retards like you and your slut mother think that's proof of him using an electric collar on his dog, bro. If you think a man who makes his entire living live streaming 8 hours a day with his fucking dog in the background has a shock collar button, I can't help you, bro. The best parts of you trickle down your mother's fucking thigh. Your slut mother. Back to it. Fucking retards, man. Fucking retards. That dog lives a better life than I do.
I'm here today because I want to feel hope in politics again.
Hogg is using his PAC Leaders We Deserve to support young candidates who
David
refuse
is
to
kind of
accept
like
dark
the
special
much
interest
more
money.
brand safe version
Maybe the
of what I
reason
do
young
that's
people
not like
are
a
not huge
socialist.
fans of Democrats or politics in general is because politics doesn't give a shit about them. You guys ready to change that?
Yes! Eat your fucking hat, Carville. He will be after
what
this.
you're doing within the
Yo,
Democratic
mods, don't
Party.
be fucking banning people just for talking anti-Hassan shit. I want them here. I want to bully them. I want them to watch this shit. You ban people if they violate the fucking rules, not if they don't like Hassan.
Infrastructure. Have you seen the Democrats? I mean, if you look at Congress, I think it
And
kind of
also, if
speaks
you
for
ban
itself.
them, it doesn't give me a chance to call their mother a slut.
We have a government that is dominated and focused on people that are legislating that are not going to live to see the effects of many of the policies that they're passing.
True.
The reality is we cannot continue to sell democracy to a generation that the system that we call democracy is not working for. And I think New York City is actually one of the first places we did that. We were Zoran's largest funder in his primary. We spent $300,000 supporting him.
Today, he's campaigning in Brooklyn with Claire Valdez, a Democrat primary candidate in New York's 7th District.
I'm Claire Valdez, and I approve this message because this campaign is about you, not me. But can I talk about you?
Like Mamdani, Valdez is a Democratic Socialist.
The sort of older generation that is afraid of the word socialist, that's not sticking with young people, right?
It's true. And, you know, we see after poll that Democratic Socialism is becoming more
And
popular.
also, real quick, if you believe that it is a fact that he abused his dog, Why hasn't his dog been taken from him? Because if it's a fact and you can prove that somebody is abusing their dog, you can call animal services or animal control and they will take that dog away. So clearly, you can't fucking prove it. You can point to a 2-second clip that you have chosen is a fact. Well, guess what, bitch? Facts don't care about your fucking feelings. And the fact is, you can't prove it.
Kind of in every age group, but especially with young voters. And I think it's precisely because, you know, like me, so many people have worked low-wage jobs, felt like they had no career path, felt really locked out of home ownership and what we've, you know, traditionally thought of as the American dream. And we know that the system is the problem.
Democratic Socialist Zoran Mamdani will be elected. The only people that fuck with me are the people. New York. Every media.
It's impossible not to feel a sense of hope for a better tomorrow.
Mamdani's historic win and success with an open democratic
Turkey, Israel, UK, America.
Wait, Turkey within the Democratic Party.
Oh my God! What we gotta do?
That this kind of politics works. I can just point the czar on.
One communist on the faculty of one university is one communist too many.
Communism and socialism have long been bad words in American politics. Dating back to the McCarthy hearings and the Cold War, America stood for capitalism.
They use the word social democrat because it sounds so nice, but it's really communism you're talking about.
But that is changing.
You understand, I think rightly, this is social democracy. This is not gulag socialism. This is not the Soviet Union.
I fucking wish it was. Tell you that. That's where I'm further to the left than Hassan. I'm not kidding when I say that we need gulags. You know, we are, like, slavery is legal in the United States of America. I wish it wasn't. But as long as slavery is legal in the United States of America, we should be fucking enslaving Trump's cabinet. We should be fucking enslaving ICE agents. These motherfuckers belong in the gulags that we actually have. We have gulags. We have concentration camps. We just pretend like we fucking don't.
In socialism.
Socialism, on the other hand, up like a rocket. Look at this.
Harry
2 in 3 Democrats have a favorable view of socialism.
Capitalism is even less
Holy
popular
Toledo.
among young people.
If politicians want to know how to get elected, it is not complicated. Do your job and represent the people, not the special interests buying out our elections. What I think a lot about is the fact
He's
that
a Nepo baby? Bro, so am I. I was born into an upper middle class family. My dad made a lot of fucking money. Guess what we both are, me and Hassan? Class traitors, motherfucker.
if we do not start making our political system work for people that feel like they are living in a broken promise, where they've done as a generation everything we've been told on average, right? We've gone to college at some of the highest rates of anybody of any generation in American history. Contrary to popular belief, we've actually voted at the highest rates of any generational cohort at our age in American history, consistently.
Often when belief in the system collapses, civil unrest and
Charlie
violence
Kirk dying
follow.
at the tip of a menorah.
The CEO of United Healthcare was murdered this morning.
Some young Americans celebrated the murder of healthcare CEO Brian Thompson.
As did I.
Unfortunately, I don't think that we really lost like that great of a member of our society.
How do you think Brian Thompson's family feels when they hear that?
Well, obviously, I'm not going to try to say something insensitive about his children.
That's
but
crazy.
I do
To just
want
be
to
like
kind of
known as a
remind
Luigi
people that he
Mangione
was also
supporter on
denying
television is
life-saving
wild,
care
but
to
hey,
hundreds, if not thousands,
to
of
each their
families.
own.
How do you think their families feel when their loved ones are lost?
How do you feel about that? And clearly, as somebody who has survived gun violence in this country.
I'll tell you, it is the thing that keeps me up at night more than anything. And it's not just like that specific instance. There is a deep, deep, deep frustration with how our political system is not working for the people who need it. It's
a good answer.
If
Okay,
we do
David.
not start to make it work, people are going to find somebody who promises to do that, even if it's without democracy.
We need to fight against the system.
Okay, that wasn't a bad answer for him, but he's a
I was here.
primarily a
I was
gun
on
guy.
stage. I was on stage for this.
He's a Parkland.
There is
I'm
clearly
all the way to the goddamn right.
appetite for change. But Democrats are divided on just how radical that change should be.
It was more than mine. You got it more than
Democratic collaborators too.
It's me. That's your boy.
I thought the big takeaway in 2024 was Democrats need to go everywhere. Wasn't that the takeaway? I'm shocked.
Keith Edwards, he's a
moderate,
political commentator, consultant.
Democrats say they're not even going to speak to Hassan Piker when we know that the best way to get a message out is to go to places where they might not otherwise hear it.
Looking swaggy is fun. It's not a big deal. It's nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? Bro, that was a huge deal, actually.
He's transcendent.
Low key. I wore a Chinese one, and they were like, bro, this guy, like, it was on fucking news. It was on Fox
advertisements
News. They were freaking
now?
out.
It's like swapping jerseys during the World Cup.
You know, they were like, this
Hi,
guy.
Jeannie.
Thank you.
We gotta get a picture.
This is St. Louis.
I appreciate you, homie.
Oh, he's so cute.
Sorry if I offended y'all. I promise it wasn't as deep as I was in you last night. What the fuck? Are you trying to claim this is all rage bait? Hold on, let me fix the camera. Are you trying to claim that everything you said was rage bait? It's a very typical thing to do. There we go. Camera fixed. Rage bait works. Rewind the stream to when Chris had to acknowledge it. Uh-huh. Yeah, no, it's not that you just sounded like a fucking retard and I called you what you are, a retard. All right, it's fine. You could ban this guy. His mother's a slut anyway. You could ban him.
Mr. Hassan Piker. What's going on, St. Louis?
He's Aura. That's Aura.
Hassan Piker has been traveling the country, leveraging his online fame to back progressive candidates and broadcasting their rallies to his 3 million Twitch followers.
We all know the Republicans are corrupt. We all know that they're monsters, they're racist, they traffic in hatred. But we are here to say we are no longer going to vote for do-nothing Democrats either. We're voting for Democrats with a purpose.
Not bad.
Wait.
It feels like you're running.
No, it's what people keep saying, but I'm not.
Are you concerned that pushing the candidates that you're pushing, you might end up hurting the Democrats nationally in a general election?
I've heard this concern a lot. They said my allegiance with Zoran was actually going to hurt his chances. Andrew Cuomo tried to exploit that. He tried to really hammer on this point that I was a dangerous radical, and so was Zoran by associating with me. I think for far too long, the conventional wisdom in Washington was don't respond to the needs of the people. Always focus test your messaging and try to find a moderate centrist vision. And we're finding out that the Zoran-style candidacy, the Bernie-crats, are rising up in popularity and fighting against the establishment and seeing tremendous success.
Tremendous success indeed.
Oh, I was there for this too.
The political story of the summer is the far left success in New York, in Colorado, California, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey.
It's crazy how many campaigns I've worked on that just I don't even fucking know. This guy's a stud. Use it.
All right, guys, listen, we're about 20 minutes into it. I think I'm going to call it there. You want to watch the rest of it? Hassan has this video uploaded. You can go there if you'd like to watch it. But, you know, I was fucking everywhere, bro. Oh, I was everywhere over June. June was nuts. All right, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit my notification bell, do whatever you got to do, and support the channel financially if you'd like. And other than that, I love you very much, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.